T-minus 50 seconds. T-minus 40 seconds. T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Shout out to Kopish.
Shout out to Kopish, guys.
All the good work
the
up.
two legends, Emil Heskey, Howard Gill. Can't get much better than that guy. Yeah. You know what to do now. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm with legends, guys.
Kopish.
Some say that these are the symptoms of a great team. At times I do worry that how long can we keep getting away with such performances. Nottingham Forest had some clear-cut opportunities to score, but I guess, you know, their strikers or the finishers could not get the job done.
It's a good victory. They made us work for it. Big up to them because they played really well. But we got to cross the line. Going to Wembley, boys. We're going to Wembley.
Good evening, lovely people. Hope you're well. Welcome back to another Monday Night Live. And Drift, we say it to everyone after every win, loss, or draw. You guys get your chance to say what you want to say. Big up to the two guys who on that video who gave their thoughts on the Nottingham Forest win and progression to the semi-finals of the FA Cup. Got a lot to talk about today. In fact, no, not a lot to talk about.
Full video dropped straight after this one as well.
Indeed,
for the viewers review.
Not loads of different topics, but a lot of mini topics within topics, if that makes sense. So we're going to be chopping up about Ox and his situation at Liverpool. Going to be looking at Trent's situation in terms of the injury. Is it an injury? Is it not an injury? How serious? Is it mind games? Blah, 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 blah. And we're going to look at some of the transfer rumours that have been going and popping about today. Now, I know it's international breaks. We're bound to get some transfer rumours. Journalists have to keep busy. We know how it goes. But some of these names are names that we've spoken about here and names that we've been heavily linked with and that journalists have linked us with. So it's going to be very interesting to see where we go with some of these names. As always, guys, smash the like button. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Drift, how's your day been, bro?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, bro. Not too bad. Noticing that there's a lot of people that can't seem to take anything apart from airy-fairy opinions.
Go on, elaborate.
Yeah. Like, as soon as you say anything that's not what they believe, or if you're not just like head in the clouds, we're the best team ever, then all of a sudden you're negative or whatever. Shit, man. Flipping no. Is what it is. I wonder what it's like if your boss comes in and goes, look, I'm not quite happy with what you've done here. How dare you? What are you talking about? I'm the greatest.
I think it depends on how people approach it, innit?
Yeah. Like
I think there has to be constructive. Look, I'm still in the camp of I think we can do the quad, but I'm not blind to performances like yesterday either.
Yeah, it's what it is, bro. It doesn't bother me. I'm just confused and what's the word? Intrigued by it. We used to call them top res. I don't know if that's still what we call them, but you can't say shit. But sensational performance. We're the best. He's amazing. We're gonna do it all. It's like, all right, like if that's how you feel, then great. I'm all for it, but I just give it real. And I'll never be that type of guy. So it's all good in the hood, man. It's all good in the hood. No one likes to hear anything that's even remotely not like high praise. So here's what it is.
I think it depends on the situation, Drew.
Nah, it doesn't, bruv. I see hella people talking, comments, DMs, just like, I can't believe you don't think this. Ray, you're talking rubbish. Okay, hold on. So was yesterday's performance good? No. So what part of it is rubbish? Oh, well, okay, have we done it yet? No. Okay, so is it a guarantee? No. So which part of what I'm saying is wrong? Okay, well then basically you just didn't like the fact that I'm not just going, yes, we're gonna do it, guys. But that's all right. But don't come for me, because I will come for you. But I just find it very amusing. I do.
So, all right, be real. So me saying
Mm.
that I think we can do the quad. Do you think that's me being airy fairy? And I know you didn't mean it. I know you don't mean that. I mean, I'm just asking the question.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm not talking to you, bro.
No, I know you're not. I know that. That's why. But I'm asking the question.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's being airy fairy. But if I say to you, I don't think we can win the quad, then you'd be like, fair enough. You wouldn't be like, are you just chatting shit, bro?
No. I'd hope you'd put. If I ever came at you like that, I'd hope you'd pull me to a side. Like, bro, I'll be honest with you. You should pull me to a side during the show and be like, "How do I speak?"
Oh
to
yeah,
you
yeah, come on, Bob. That would definitely be what the case would be. But I'm just talking in general. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, look.
All right, so the way I'd come back at that drift. So, say for example, you said we can't win the quad. I would ask you, why don't you think we can win the quad?
And what, you want me to answer that?
No, I'm not saying, but that's the thing. So I get why you're frustrated. I think it's a case of conversations. I've had it. Look, the Brentford draw and the Brighton draw. I had people going off at me because I said that the league wasn't over and I think we still got a chance. And people really, really came for me. So I just think sometimes it's a case of when people type things, I think sometimes it gets misconstrued. I think sometimes people want you to change your mind, which sometimes is a good thing, but sometimes it's not a great thing. I think it's just a case of there needs to be a conversation sometimes. It's like me and you disagree about the quad situation, but we can articulate the reasons why. And I'm sure you can see points from where I'm coming from. And I can see points where you're coming from, but we'll still agree to disagree, innit? Like yesterday wasn't a good performance, but I see it as that even against an opposition where Arsenal were knocked out and like they've been playing well, we came through it on our worst day. Like, so I see the positives, even though I get the negative there as well. So I get it from both sides. My thing is, I just can't give up on this team yet because I've just seen them do so many things that I didn't think they could do up until this point. But
I'll never give up on him. But you know what's funny, bro? Yeah, you see when you said people are coming for you because you were still being positive about winning the league, or the possibility of winning the league when other people thought it was gone. And it's amazing though, those people are the same people that try to point out that I thought the league was done because there's no receipts on there, but they thought the league was done as well. Yeah, it's so easy to flip flop when you're not on screen. Oh, yeah. It's so easy to flip flop when you're not on screen, bro. So
you know, I'm someone who don't really like to get in the comment section and all that. But if I really wanted to be petty, I could pick out names and really
100%, bro, 100%.
But I wouldn't do that because I'll be honest, it's kind of their right to be flip flop as fans because we flip flop. But we're going to speak about Ox in a minute, and I've flip flopped on Ox about 4 times this season. So the difference is that we are in a position where we're going to get receipts in it. So it's like we just kind of got to take the rough with the smooth. But I do like the idea of there being some accountability because I know if I say something on here and I get it wrong, I've got to be accountable for it. So I'd like to see a bit more of that in the comments section and all that.
Exactly. But I don't. And that's all I'm talking about. It's just that, and again, you know already, I'm going to be me forever. I ain't no one changing my opinion. But and to be fair, like I said, I don't even care, but I'm very fascinated by it. You know, sometimes like you can ignore things, but then sometimes you're like, you know what? That's like triggered my interest. But out of curiosity, what's your belief of why? Oh yeah, just because. No. Give me a reason. Why? So because if you give me a reason.
I can articulate why I think we can do the quad.
Yeah, no, I don't want you to answer for them.
No, but I wouldn't. I could only answer for myself. I think the thing is, I don't like the idea of just because you don't agree with someone that person's automatically wrong, or like there are instances where I'm wrong, where you're wrong, where Matt's wrong, or
Of
where
course.
people in the comments are wrong. It happens, but
Of course.
the quad thing, for me, I'm enjoying the ride. I think we can do it. Luck is going to play a part in it, in the same way luck played a part when Man United won a treble, when Arsenal have won doubles, and other teams have won doubles. When we won
yesterday was
the
part
minor
of the luck,
treble.
innit, to a degree.
No, it was. But when we won the minor treble back in 2001, we were super lucky in certain games and certain moments. You have to have luck to win a game. There's no way you can be perfect in all the games. There's no way you can be good in all the games. There are going to be games where you're not good. I think certain times this season where we have been decent, we've kind of been punished by accuracy of other teams, a la the Brentford and Brighton game. But I think there's been other games where we have been good, like the City game, especially in the second half, where I think we could have got a win, but we were kind of unlucky not to. It's football, innit? It's football.
Like you said, bro, flip-flopping is kind of part and parcel. I think you know what it is with today's football, yeah? Because we grew up in a different culture of football. And so would everyone have been who's like over 30. You were a lot more realistic and within yourself about things, and you weren't so ready to point the finger. The only thing we really did back in the day would be you'd banter the team on the day you played them if you came into school the next day and you'd beaten that team or whatever. Yeah. But like social media, especially, and this new age culture, is created this kind of, you can't tell me about my team in any way, shape or form. Like, you know, this tribalism, like, but on another level. So we'll sit here and we'll critique. We'll get
of it as well, though, Jeff. I'm
tribal if somebody comes for me, Cal, because that's look. My brother could have like beaten somebody up, and I know he's in the wrong. But if you come for him, I'm still gonna smack you up if you try and put something on him, and then I'll pull him to one side and be like, bro, do you know I just had to do something I shouldn't have had to do because you did something you shouldn't have to do, and then I might bad him up as well. That's just life, innit? But when it comes to the football thing, like if I want to sit here and I want to be like, look, I think Mo had a bad game, or I think Thiago had a bad game. What the new culture does is it doesn't allow people to have that like come at them, because it's like, oh no, but then Man United fans are gonna like use that as a beating us. So no, we got to defend him. No, what are you talking about? Salah didn't have a bad game, and it's like this overbearing like tribalism. Do you get what I mean? To just not be real about shit. But we come from a generation where being real is what it is, bro. So do you know what? If one of our players has a bad game, he had a bad game. I'm going to say he had a bad game. Just because he plays for Liverpool, I'm not going to like lie. And then what it don't mean is I have a problem with that guy, or I dislike him, or I've got some kind of issue. We're going to talk about Ox today, bro. I have defended Ox more than anybody in the Liverpool fan base. I'm sure of it. But we're going to sit down today and have a candid conversation. I've got to be real about it. I'm not going to sit and go, no, he's great. Like, we're going to be real about it now. So just be willing to accept any kind of criticism or negativity that may be involved with your team, because we're not perfect. Our team ain't perfect. And everybody ain't just going to be airy-fairy about it. So that's all I find. I find it. And then if they do have a problem with it, the extreme happens and it becomes like an agenda against them, like a witch hunt. And then that player just can't escape. Even if he has a good game, it don't matter. It's just everyone's just on his back forever. And we've seen circumstances of it. Managers, players, it's like when they start playing well, the person who thought they were crap ain't willing to just go, I might have been wrong. They're like, no, he's still crap. Don't care how many 10 out of 10 performances he's putting in. He's still crap. It's like, fucking hell, man. It's like polar opposites. But
the agenda thing does get to me. That is probably the one thing that gets to me, because as I said, you lot saw how I was with Firmino yesterday. Anyone who knows me knows Firmino is hands down my favorite Liverpool player. But if he does something I don't like on the pitch, I'm gonna say it. Yeah, I don't even think I went hard yesterday. I'll be honest. I think I held quite a lot in regarding.
Oh my god, there was more.
I did. I was livid. I was livid. Because I tell you what it is, Drift. Not even to go on a diversion there. That Firmino chance I've seen so many times, but in a situation like now, where we're going for 4 trophies, where you don't really want to be getting into scraps when you don't need to, that was such an unnecessary thing to do. Like, just put the ball in the back of the net with as minimal effort as needs to be, get the 1-0, and then boom. Then when you're 2-3-0 up, You do anything you want. You do all the flicks. You do the tricks. You go down on your knees and roll the ball with your head if you want. Like, I don't care.
Them old school ones. Did you hear what
Like,
Klopp said about it?
Do I want to know?
Klopp said, and in a moment like that, when Bobby would usually pass, this time he went for goal, but it's okay. 9 times out of 10, he would have passed that and Jota would have had a tap in. That's actually what Klopp said, bro.
And look, everyone knows I love Klopp, but Klopp's letting him get away with one there. But again, I love and respect Klopp for that, because he could have thrown him under the bus there, but Klopp's not the type to do that. So I respect from a manager. That's in the same way, if my kid does something, I'm going to tell him off behind closed doors, but I don't want to publicize it to the world. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be like, you don't do that in public. I'm going to be like, we're going to speak when we get home. But out and about, I'll be like, yeah, shouldn't have done that. I'll deal with it. So I rate Klopp for that. But yeah, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. At the end of the day, we're still winning the quad, innit? So it is what it is. So let's get into the first topic then, people. It's gonna be a tough one today, I think. I do think it's gonna be a tough one. I'm not looking forward to it personally, because it's a player that I've defended. It's a player you defended. It's a player Matt's defended on times as well. It's got to be done. Let's chop it up. OXLADE-Chamberlain. Alex OXLADE-Chamberlain, Liverpool supporter, or fan of Liverpool, should I say. Liverpool player. 17-18 is the season we all remember Ox for. I actually remember him in 1920, where he came out with some very vital moments and vital goals in some vital games that kind of been overlooked. This season, however, has not been his season. And the talk going into this season was it's either between him and Naby, who potentially gets a new contract at the end of the season. Before we go any further, I'm just going to say this and move on from it, because I think it could take on this whole show. I still would move on Naby and Ox. That's just me. I'm more than happy if anyone disagrees with that. Don't have a problem. That's just my personal.
I was waiting for the thing to say, guest has arrived.
You're just gonna see something coming on the screen, like you're just gonna see this on the screen. Just look forward, bro. Say what you said about Naby again. I want Naby to stay forever. I want Naby to stay forever. So, OXLADE-Chamberlain, though. So, as he was substituted yesterday, he used the words, "I haven't played in weeks." Now, shout out to Jamrock, who's one of the regulars in the chat and super chats and call-in shows. He always speaks about squad depth and rotation and Klopp's lack of rotation at times. I'm just going to read something out, and I'm going to bring some stuff up on the screen for you guys. So Ox has had 17 starts this season. He's been on the bench 13 times and come on 12 times as a sub.
Has he had 30 appearances this season then, yeah?
In total, yeah. I think that's how it's worked out. Wow. I'm also going to share another screen with you guys, and I want your takes on it. So can you see that, Drift?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm not going to go into the full list of what they've done this season in terms of passes and all that. I just want to look at games played and all that.
No picture. But he's not mad.
Yeah, that's cheeky, isn't it? What I've not done on this list, I've not included Fabinho and I've not included Hendo, because I think they're two of the main starters, especially Fabinho. Fabinho's kind of got no competition for his position, and Hendo's the captain. So naturally,
Hendo is his competition still.
Kind of. But I've gone for Ox, Naby, Thiago, Curtis, and James Milner to compare minutes and etc. So I'm just looking at Premier League for now. If you actually look at the Premier League, games played 17. He's played more than Naby, the same amount as Thiago, more than Curtis Jones, and 2 less than Milner. If you actually look at minutes played in the Premier League, and this is kind of crazy to me, he's played more minutes than Curtis Jones and Milner, less than Thiago, and less than Naby. I would have thought he'd played way more minutes in. So I'd have thought Milner's played way more minutes in the Prem than he has.
Do you know what it is? Because Milner only gets like the end of the game to like keep like like keep everything calm and manage the game. And
Yeah,
because
I
we
hear
see
that.
him every week, because I agree with you. I thought Milner would have been higher as well. But I
Same,
guess
that
when Ox
threw
is
me.
playing, Ox is getting a whole hour and then coming off, where Millie's probably just getting 20 minutes at the end of every game. So if you add it up, Ox will end up with more. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, that one threw me off. I actually had to put the actual stuff in the actual search box again just to make sure I got the right thing. What I'm going to do now is look at other competitions. So I'm going to go chat. In fact, I'll go League Cup for all of them first.
I'm actually very shocked that Naby's played less games than Ox as well. That one might be even more surprising than the Milner one, if I'm being honest. It feels like Naby's played more games than Ox easily.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that
League
one.
Cup, Thiago I've left out because if I'm not mistaken, he didn't play in any of the League Cup games. League Cup,
No.
he played 4. So Ox played 4, same as Milner, same as Curtis, one more than Naby. Minutes played, only Curtis played more minutes in the League Cup than Ox. So again, we're looking at games played and minutes. It's not as bad as it would have seemed. Champions League now. This is where I think there's going to be a disparity, or I'm guessing. I've not actually seen this. The first time I'm looking at this one. So Ox played in 6 games, but again, we know from watching the games he didn't start those games. However, 300 minutes in the Champions League, more than Naby Keita, more than Thiago, more than Curtis Jones, and more than James Milner. So the reason I brought this up, I'm going to stop staring at the screen now. The reason I brought this up is because
I want to see Origi. Yeah, go on.
there's the reason I brought this up is because, and I can only speak for myself here, I didn't realize Ox has played as much football as he actually has. And you see when he comes off the bench or he's being subbed off from being on the pitch and he's moaning, say, I've not played in a couple of weeks, but then you realize he's played more games than his other midfield competition, apart from Hendo and Fabinho, who arguably play in, not arguably, they play in different positions to him. It's kind of mad because he's not done enough, in my opinion, to justify turning around to Klopp and saying, why am I getting hooked off? I've barely played in the last couple of weeks, when he's played more minutes than a lot of these players, but done very little to show his worth. So the first question I'm going to ask you, Drift, is what is his best position, in your opinion?
Left-sided 8, which has a little bit more of an attacking role and a little less defensive responsibility. I think our right-sided 8 has defensive responsibility.
Okay. Is that because of Trent getting forward as well? Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. However, if you look at when he was playing at his best in 17-18, he was playing on the right of a 3 because Henderson was our DM at the time. But also in 19-20, he played a lot of games from the left-hand side of a front 3 where he was quite productive with his goal output. So again, when you look at that left-hand side of the midfield 3, you're looking at Thiago, you're looking at Naby potentially, and you're looking at potentially Curtis Jones. For me, this season so far, I don't think he's done much to say he's done or had a better season than those three players.
It's a tricky one because I'm trying not to use recency bias, as in like just the last couple of weeks. He did have a really good January, in my opinion. It wasn't like sensational or anything, but he did have a good January. He filled in, he scored a few important goals. And that was when we had no Mo and Mane, and he helped to fill in. So he did do well then. And just in general, I don't really think Ox has had that many disappointing performances, should I say.
Sorry to cut you, Drift. I hate to say it, but I feel as though there are more disappointing performances in my memory that stick out than good ones this season.
Yeah, but would you call like a 5 or a 6 out of 10 a disappointment? because that's
Yeah.
just average. But we call that average, and but basically what that would mean is we're telling a player he can't be average or he's crap,
Not,
which
all
I
right,
think
so
is too far.
I agree. But say, for example, Drift, I have 10 games and 8 or 9 out of those games are average. Would you say I'm good enough for Liverpool Football Club?
No, I wouldn't call you good enough for Liverpool football.
So that's my point. I don't
mean, no,
mind.
he didn't have that many though, Cal.
No,
He
no,
didn't
I'm
have
just
like
no,
8
I'm
out
not.
of 10.
No, I agree. I'm just using a sample size. So for me personally, say for example, but we've seen Thiago have average games. Not one of us, and I better not see anyone in the chat say, "Boy, that average game, yeah, I might have sold him after that," because that would be crazy. But when I'm not seeing enough momentum, when I'm not seeing enough of him playing good games that stick out in the memory, it kind of makes me feel as though we've just kind of evolved past him now, and he's not the player he used to be. Injuries have taken their toll. I think we've just evolved past him as a player in our setup now. I don't know if you agree or not.
Yeah, to a degree. But then again, he filled in January. He played right wing. His versatility is important to the way Klopp likes to rotate things. It's a tough one, bro. It's a tough one. It's like I said yesterday, though, and I'll reiterate for anyone who never heard it. And you just made the point there with what you brought up, which perfectly aligns that I didn't even know that, but I had a feeling that it was right when I said, allow that wet face bullshit on the bench, walking around, throwing a strop, bringing the changing room down, bringing the mood down around everybody who's happy. You watched the bench yesterday when that goal went in. Fabinho's off the bench. Come on. Ox is just sitting back there with a wet face, like don't even care, just sulking like a school kid. You're 28, bro. You're a grown-ass man. Man, just sitting there, oh, screw up. You know, like when you tell Steve you can't have a sweetie, he just sits in the back of the car, like, no, he's allowed to. He's only 2 years old. That's the age where you get away with that behavior. You can't be a big 28-year-old man and do. Well, not in Cowswell, we know, but you know,
You gotta learn. He's gotta learn.
Yeah. You want to throw a strop for the whole journey? You see those dishes? Get on the stool.
You go cook tonight, my man. You go cook tonight. How do you think I'm gonna act in saltfish, bro? No, do you know what? I'm joking. I'm not even gonna start making jokes like that online.
Yeah, I was gonna say, bro. Next thing you're like, yeah, and it ain't deboned, or you make sure you get them out. But like, you're 28. There is no way that you should be throwing a strop like that. I get disappointment about not playing, but when you're paid to play football and when you're part of something that's greater than you, yeah, you can't act that way. That is the reason why there's something called professional, semi-professional, and amateur. You see, when you're an amateur, not that you can do what you want, but if you do, that is what it is, isn't it? If you're just a Sunday league player or whatever and you get annoyed, you're brought off, you are going to be feeling a lot more like annoyed, innit? You pay subs, for example, so you pay to play. You know, I mean, I always remember going up to the manager afterwards when I used to play Sunday football and be like, yeah, Gaffer, I want to know why I didn't play today. It didn't happen very often, but I want to know why I didn't play today, but you're actually asking me for subs. Like, explain to me. I paid to get here. I've got to pay to get home. And I never came on. But you want my money. You got to explain that to me. So I've got a right to be annoyed in a scenario like that. Do you get what I mean? But when you're paid to play and you did play and you didn't perform well, and then you get taken off and you know you didn't perform well, Ox, man, come on. You're not an idiot. If you think you perform well, that will be more worrying than anything. You didn't perform well yesterday. We're not playing well. We're not winning the game. Changes that had to be made. And here's the wickedest thing. Now I know you've played more than Naby. Now I know you've played more than Thiago. Now I know you've played more than Milner. Nobody else was moaning. And 2 of them players came off. Thiago and Milner and Naby came off yesterday. Why are you moaning? No, say Thiago was the Arsenal game, and it say he came on. Yeah, well, Thiago was on the bench, and he weren't moaning. He was on the bench. You play more minutes than him. You play more minutes, and I said yesterday, go and ask Origi what it feels like. Go and ask Taki what it feels like. They don't walk around with a wet face. You know what I mean? Always moaning and shit. When they're called upon, they're ready to go. They come off the bench and they're ready to go, bro. Like,
can I stop you there, though, Drift? And again, this is not me trying to call you out. But you have said in the past, we've got to look at the human side of things. And even
Yeah.
changed my perception a little bit because of stuff you said. Because I used to get annoyed when I used to see like Mane or Salah first drop when they were getting hooked off. Now, in his mind, he hasn't played loads of football since he's been at Liverpool. He just hasn't because of injuries, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And again, the notion of because he's on a certain amount of money, he should just bite his tongue and deal with it. I don't necessarily agree with as well. I think he is professional. I don't think there's ever been talk of ox down tooling or being a bad vibe in the dressing room or not trying to give his maximum effort when he plays. Could you not see it from his side or his point of view a little bit drift in terms of stuff that you've said to me in the past about not necessarily being too harsh and not seeing them just as robots?
Yeah, that definitely plays a role. That definitely does play a role. But that's where I use the word professional, because as I've stuck up for Mo in the past, as I've stuck up for Mane and other players who are angry, they'll be angry in a moment and then they'll let it go and then they'll come back to normal. Whereas...
Right. Chainsaw, it was just bad timing. I have no agenda against Taki. It's just bad timing, but allow me, Chainsaw. You and Ace on my neck when it comes to Taki. Sorry, bro.
But where they will be different, they don't have a wet face for the whole time. They'll throw their strop for 5 minutes, and then after that, they'll remember it's about the team again. And what I don't get about the way, and another thing as well, I think Mane and Mo as well, especially Mo, half of the time what they're annoyed with is themselves. It ain't even the other person or the manager that they're angry with. Like, I think Mo will be like, I know I had a bad game today. I wanted to score. But you know, if we score a goal, they'll still be happy. If we win a trophy, they will still be happy. So you know what it was, bro? It was the cup final for me. Ox did not give a shit we won that trophy just because he didn't play in the final. And that was when I kind of, that was the part when I was like, nah, Ox, even if I met you, I'll sit you down and be like, big man, you can't do that, bro. You can't do that. There are kids watching. There's people who look up to you. Not only that, there's fans who you represent. We're over the moon that we've won. You should be as happy as we are, if not more, because you're in the playing staff. You played games and you contributed. You should feel good about it. But just because you didn't play in the final, which I totally understand your disappointment, but just because you didn't play in the final, you were angry and annoyed. I'm watching Adrian. I'm watching Taki. I'm watching Origi. I'm watching all these guys celebrate who also played a big role in it, bro. Go and talk to Taki, yeah? Go and talk to Taki, Ox. If you want to be angry, you didn't play. Taki was top goal scorer in the tournament. Taki was the reason we got to the final and played no part in it. None. Not even 1 minute. And the man was chuffed, bruv. Tsimikas played a lot of time. Origi scored. I think Origi got 3 goals in the tournament and an assist. I remember his scorpion kick. Didn't get one, didn't get one. I know he came on and took a penalty, but he weren't throwing a strop. He weren't in the first 11. Taki got no minutes, Cal. Taki got no minutes. And credit to him. He ain't good enough to be at Liverpool, so maybe he just feels happy to be here. But Adrian is over the moon with any positivity that goes on in our club. And when was the last time Adrian was on the pitch? When actually was the last time Adrian even played 1 minute of football?
1 League Cup game this season when Kelleher was injured.
And he had a good game.
He did.
He had a good game. He ain't throwing no strop. I get it. When you go home, be a bit annoyed. Talk to Klopp maybe behind the scenes. But you know when you're in public, Cal, there's a thing that we call fronting. Saving face. That is when you're supposed to front. You're not supposed to front where you're broke, but you've got a rented Lamborghini and you're pretending you got money. That is dumb fronting. But you know what good fronting is? Putting on a brave face and showing everybody everything's all right. You know what I mean? Parents have to do it all the time. Bad scenario, you don't want your kids to worry, so you pretend you're all right. Then when you go in the room by yourself, you get annoyed where the kids can't see you because you don't want them to think, what's going on? Do that in public, Ox. Be annoyed in private. You can't be up on the thing going, and just passing on the trophy and just making it so obvious you don't care. We're all there in the team picture and you're just there throwing a strop in the corner, making it obvious you don't care. Bro, you can't be like that in public.
Yeah,
You can't be like that in public, man. You
that
just
was the one
can't.
that was the one that kind of did it for me. It was and look, I get disappointment. I can understand it, because if you're a top player, you want to be a part of actually playing in the final. And if I'm not mistaken, he's not played in any of the finals we've got to. He's not played in the Champions League final. The 2 Champions League finals he didn't play in. The League Cup final he didn't play in, obviously. When we had the Club World Cup and Super Cup, I believe he didn't play.
He was injured then, innit? He was injured then.
So again, I get it. But at the same time, I have to agree with what you're saying. Like this whole notion of you throw strops in public and all that, I'm not a big fan of it personally.
You can't do that. Yeah, you can't do that. You can't throw a strop in public. I don't mind you being annoyed and upset. That is completely normal nature. But don't throw a strop in public. You make us all look bad when you do that. You know what I mean?
Here's the question I ask you now, Drift. Does he have a future at Liverpool? And like many presume that this is kind of the end of the road for Ox at Liverpool. Can he save his Liverpool career between now and the end of the season?
See, here's the thing, bro. Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you to be objective and not think about him as one of your favorite players. Yeah.
I know. Man, this is hard for me to talk about him like this. He actually is. Because he's homegrown and and he's also versatile. I don't think his Liverpool career is over. I just think that we looking in think you'd probably be better off to go, bro. But he's got a year left. I don't think his value is very high. And Klopp does like him. I don't even know if I will say his Liverpool career is over, bro, if I'm being honest. Like, you think that both should go, Naby and Ox, which I'm actually the opposite of. I actually believe that Naby has done enough to stay. I think the Man United game and a couple of other games, plus he's been way more consistent with his fitness now. I think he's kind of proved that he should get a new deal. Not a ridiculous one, maybe only a 2-year extension, not a 4 or 5-year extension. But I do believe that Naby does deserve a new contract. But with Naby's value being a lot higher, like we could maybe get 30 mil for Naby after the year he's had. Whereas with Ox, I think maybe 10 or 15, absolute maximum. So with Naby being worth double, if not triple what Ox is worth, there's a possibility we could keep Ox and shut Naby because we're going to think about money. Like it ain't beyond the realms of possibility, Cal. A German club comes in with 30 mil for Naby. It ain't beyond the realms of possibility that the club will go, well, you know what? Let's keep Ox because he's homegrown. Just let him see the deal out and then get 30 mil for Naby. Like, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah, I'll explain in other videos why I'd move on both. I don't think now's the time to do that. I think his Liverpool career is coming towards an end, especially if we do get Fabio Carvalho. I think that was mark the end of Ox, in my opinion. Yeah. Get through some of these super chats before we move on to the next topic. Pete Al says Trent and Naby ain't injured. Ox time is up. Let's get Gavi. Barca are starting to look good. Can we talk about the Champions League draw? Don't know if you already have. We've spoken about Champions League draw in quite a bit of detail. Very, very happy.
On Friday night show, Pete. Friday night show we spoke about.
More than you could believe. Yeah, I don't see us having any chance of getting Gavi. I don't see Gavi leaving Barcelona at all. I think him and Pedri, the two players that I think Xavi will try and build his team around going forward.
Yeah, and again, I'm not being negative in any way, but a lot of people will be like, Drift, man, have you seen these Gavi links? I'm just like, guys, I don't mean to be the bearer of bad news, but he is a Barcelona wonder kid. You really think they're not going to move heaven and earth to keep him? There's no way we're getting Gavi. No way, especially after they just lost Messi. Pedri and Gavi are not going anywhere. They would do everything in their power to make sure that those guys, and the fact that they're kind of like doing all right now, they're not even in the mud that much anymore either. I did tell everyone, remember when everyone said to me, what's your optimism about Xavi? What makes you think he's going to be a good manager? I'm like, well, what he did in Qatar or in the Middle East was very impressive. And based upon that, and in being a Barca legend where he's got the respect of the changing room, I do believe. And look, bro, he's slowly turning that team round, bro. Like he truly is slowly turning them around. He's brought in a couple signings and they look way better than they did before. Like, I'd actually be a bit nervous if we had to play Barcelona now, the way Torres and Aubameyang, and he's got Dembele back into form and stuff like that. Bro, Barcelona playing good right now, bro. There's no two ways about it.
Their defense is not dealing with our attack, bro.
No, I hear that, but that can't always be the equation for whether we can beat a team, because we've also got to think, is their attack doing well? So
I think we deal with them at the moment. Ronaldinho Goat says, drift right, F this blind optimism. Our performance has been worrying. Anyway, Salah needs to stop the tapping fraud Lewandowski from winning the Ballon d'Or. Love you. Big up to yourself, Ronaldinho Goat. Jamrock says, you also can't use small anecdotal evidence to come up with an overall conclusion, as those anecdotal evidence and sense of group think. Yeah, that's true as well, Jamrock. That's true, but we sometimes have got to speculate a little bit to try and dig deep into a situation. Ash says, Drifty, ignore the noise, my friend. You can have your opinion. You can have any opinion you like. Promise me you're going to enjoy this ride. April is going to be special. We're going to throw the sink at this running. Let's go, champ. Let's go.
Big up, Ash. Like, it don't bother me. Like I said, like I'm good, but we're here to talk, right? So I just thought I'd bring it up because it was just a very intriguing situation. And I'm enjoying the ride. But what you lot have got to remember is, and I'm not saying anybody is any less passionate than me, but this is just how I am about football. My enjoyment of the ride always takes a back seat to my skepticism, or whatever you call it, because I can't take the disappointment. I hate the disappointment. Like, there's a part of me, you might not, in fact, I know, Cal, you probably aren't going to agree with me. I would rather go out of the FA Cup or the Champions League at the first stage if I knew that we were going to lose the final, because I don't need that build-up. I don't need it. So, like, say somebody went in the future, said you're going to get to the final but lose 2-0 in the final. I would be like, all right, let's just go out in the first round. I don't need that build-up for that drop-off of do you know what I mean? Like, I don't like that when that happens. So all I do is I enjoy the ride, but I enjoy the ride hesitantly, should I say, because I always know at just any move, there's something that could slap us in the face around the corner. And the happier I get, the harder that slap will feel. But don't get me wrong. These are amazing times to be a Liverpool fan. There's never been a better time to be a Liverpool fan. There truly isn't. Well, not in our generation anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I see where you're coming from. Again, I'd look at it in a different way and say I'd be mad disappointed, but at the same time, at least some of the players in the squad get some well-deserved and well-needed experience in that situation as well. So I see it from both sides.
Oh, yeah, when you put it like that, then it makes sense, yeah.
P. Al says, we will win the quad. We will win. If you say no, you are wrong. I agree with Pete still. Drifty, you would be an amazing father. Guys, can I please get a shout out from my gran? She is 3 years off. Whoa. Yeah, I'm not going to say that online.
But big up to her, though.
She is.
If you're telling the truth.
Yeah.
If you're telling the truth, then big up to her still. Big up.
Yeah. Bayesian Barnes says, big up, fellas, and happy Monday. Big up, Bayesian Barnes. I'll be real. I haven't liked Ox' attitude since the cup final, and he should be showing more professionalism in his attitude. Club bigger than the player in You'll Never Walk Alone. Big up, Bayesian Barnes. I agree. Pete Al says, name me 5 games he's been over 7.5 rated. I can't this season. I genuinely can't.
Can I just say one thing on that? And it ain't me. I don't agree with what I'm saying, but I'm trying to play devil's advocate and just putting it out into the atmosphere in case anyone has ever thought about it. There is never a scenario where everybody can play brilliant, because the law of averages just tell you that that's never going to happen. And that doesn't mean that that person's going to be crap, but they just won't be as good as everybody else. Are we not maybe getting too into like the entitlement realm to believe every player has to always be chalking up 8s because they play for Liverpool? Like, is that not a level of entitlement, or just too much pressure or expectancy even to put on them to be like, right, because you play for Liverpool, you can't have average games. If you have average games, then get out of the club.
No, but Drift, if he's started 17 games this season, there should be at least 5 in there, in my opinion, that's over 7.5.
We'd have to go back. We'd have to go back through and even check what his stats have been.
That'll be a
I
long
remember him having some good games.
I don't.
Do you know what? I might actually go through if I get a bit of time and actually find out what, like in the January, I'm gonna go through and look at what his performances were like in January.
Cool. Elisa says he's too much of a confidence player, but that's no excuse. Look at Gomez yesterday or Div and Taki in the cups. Want him to succeed, but he has to step up. Fully agree with that. Ash says Ox upset. His Liverpool days are slipping. I sympathise as he really wants it, but we have outgrown him and time to move on. Similar to when we outgrew Lucas, Lallana, etc. Good characters, but lack of quality now. Sturridge is another one I'd add to that list as well.
That's a good that's a good point still.
Yeah. BC says Ox potential to do an Origi this running. Can he? I don't know.
I would love for him to.
Yeah, I'd love it.
For him
to. I don't know. Matt's hairline says noise is noise. Don't listen, Drift. Love you, legend. And Yafu says thoughts on Gerrard saying Saka to man up. I didn't even know this happened. Did that happen?
Anything Gerrard says is true though. So.
Oh, imagine that's that blind faith right there, boy. Big up to Adaj, one of the best beards in the game, him and Sadiq. Is there any chance that football will peak if Liverpool win the quad? For me, only the US or Nigeria winning the World Cup could match, and that's impossible. All right, so I spoke to Matt and Drift about this. Was it? I think we did this offline when we spoke about it, innit?
But we took so much, I don't know where it was, bro.
If you guys are sitting there and you think football peaks if we win the quad, then you're in the wrong sport because we've still got a lot more to accomplish. We've got to accomplish the Invincibles. I want Arsenal to be fully in the mud. I want us to go a season unbeaten in the league. I want us to do the quad back-to-back. I want us to do the quad 3 times because no one would have ever done that before. And hell, I want the quad. I want to do this. In 4 years' time, I want to be on screen just doing that with subtitles at the bottom and VR and all that because time would have moved on with technology. So football will not peak if and when we win the quad, sorry, because we still got loads more housekeeping to do. We still got to get that Invincibles, Centurions. You think about Man City walking around saying, oh, we're the only ones to get 100 points in the league? No, we've got more to do. We have to right the wrongs of football's past. It's not over yet. We've still got a lot of work to do. So I want the quad, 4s in the air. That's my take on it. Let's move on.
Now talk about being realistic.
You know my thing, Drifty.
Bro, people can come for my neck all they want. Ain't nowhere in the world any team is ever doing a quad.
You gotta start some. You know he's in the background, people, so we're gonna bring him on for the next topic. Let's go.
What's going on, guys? What's going on?
Man, just sitting in the back of the classroom causing trouble.
I was just sitting there waiting to cause some havoc, as you guys already know. All right. People, if you haven't already, listen, like, share, and subscribe. Trust me, smash that like button. There's like nearly 900 of you in here. Smash
that's
it.
big on a Monday as well.
You know
big up to you guys, man. Really appreciate it.
We move, man. Come on, man. We're here every day, all day. Come on
now. Right, next topic. I'm also gonna throw Cater into this because when I was planning the show earlier, no, nothing bad. I don't think, Matt. Cater's also been held back because he may have a slight knee injury, although I don't personally think so. Trent again has been held back for a tight hamstring. However, news came out today that the injury isn't as serious as once was thought. So we're hoping to have him back for April and the running in April. But I'm going to go down a different route with this. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, guys. So Matt, I'll start with you because you just come in.
Yeah.
If Trent doesn't play or is unable to make the City, in fact, I'm going to say if Trent is unable to make the Watford game first, because then a lot will rest on that. And let's say we lose Trent and he can't play for April. Pray to God it doesn't happen. Would you change the formation of Liverpool? And if yes, what formation would you play?
All right, I've been a big advocate for maybe changing the formation, but that was maybe about a month and a half ago, maybe. Now, we've really hit some form, albeit just right. We haven't played well over the last how many games, but I think to change formation this late in the season will be a bit, I don't know, bro. It's a bit, I can't see us doing it. And not only that, that's a big gamble. And I don't think we should be taking any gambles. Now, here's the thing, though. Without Trent, like we were saying yesterday, everything changes. Like we're more lopsided. He's a major part of our system. He's the key maker. He unlocks everything as well. He unlocks everything. So without him,
just once again, Matt, this ain't true. Like, I just want to clear that up in it.
People trying to stir already.
They know I've been talking smack about anyone. Matt knows where I live. Like,
I know where you both live. So that's all right. That's all right. We move. But no, all jokes aside, I think. Listen, missing Trent is massive, though. I can't even lie. Like, if we have too many games without him, we might come a bit unstuck. Pause. I can't even front. We actually might, because we need Trent against the Man City. Don't get me wrong. Joe Gomez showed he can play that role at a high level. But the one thing that we do miss is what Trent gives us, and that's an attacking dimension that you just don't find in the Prem in that position. He's the best in his position at what he does. He is a playmaker at right back. He can do everything. Without him, we're just not the same. And I don't think it's no coincidence as well that the way even how we're playing, well, the way he even played against Nottingham Forest as well, maybe without him, maybe he could have just unlocked us a bit, a bit quicker as well. But I'm going to be real, Carl. I think to change formation right now, I think it's too risky. And I've always said three at the back, I think it can work. But again, Carl, you then got to find that right wing back if he's not there. In our system right now, Trent is the best person to play right wing back. So who do we play in that position?
Let me pause you there. So, Drift, I'm going to come to you with this one. I want you to hear me out. Fully hear me out here, Drift.
I'm all ears, mate.
You're going to say Sadio Mane, you know?
No, I'm not.
I was going to say.
So, the back three I'd go with is Gomez left, Ibu right, and Virgil in the middle. Robbo on the left-hand side. As the right wing-back option, I'd potentially go Henderson. Hear me out. Matt, hear me out.
No, Cal, I fully get the logic.
All right.
I actually think Henderson could play right back in a back four.
Okay, I don't agree with that one, Drew.
I know he stunk up the joint. Just quickly throw a name in there. I know he's really stunk up the joint recently. What about Ox?
No.
In the right wing back? You don't think he could do it? No? Okay, fair enough. That's for it out there.
The reason I said Hendo is I think Hendo's defensively stronger than Ox. I think his positional awareness is better and his energy is better than Ox. Plus, you'd still allow him to move into that right central midfield when we're overloading, and Gomez could make an overlap on the right-hand side, similar to what Rudiger does for Chelsea when he comes forward with the ball. I think that'll give Gomez a little bit of license, because that means Robbo can sit in a little bit deeper when Joe Gomez is going forward. We can overload that right-hand side. Again, I'm not saying it's the ideal situation, but it's in my opinion, an option. What do you reckon?
Quite confused as to why people see it as such a weird thing of saying, although Ox did play wing back for Arsenal in one of his better Arsenal periods. So, I do think Ox could play wing back, but I don't know if he's still got the legs he had. That was about 5 years ago. I'm really shocked that people don't believe Henderson could play right back or right wing back. Like, I am genuinely surprised. He can cross well, he can tackle. As Cal said, he's got a good positional sense. He's got the engine. Why? I'm really shocked people don't think he can. And I'm not saying he could do it brilliantly, like he should play there all the time. But if you had to do it for a small period of time or just a tactical flip throughout one game, I don't get why people don't believe that he could do that. Henderson has got all the capabilities to be able to fill in that role. I'm actually quite surprised. I think people just see Henderson now and just automatically get negative.
I wouldn't play him as a right back, as a right wing back with three at the back. I think would be better for him because it take a little bit of defensive pressure off him.
See, even though Henderson can cover ground, there's been signs this season that he's on the wane a little bit in terms of the energy levels, and that's to be expected because he's Mr. Energy in terms of like out of all the players in terms of
You see things like this, and I'm not calling you out. You allowed your opinion, yeah, but these are the kind of things that just confuse me. People saying Henderson's never been able to cross in his life. Hendo can't cross. I'm baffled by stuff like that.
I'm gonna be honest.
So baffled by stuff like
off the top of my head. Off the top of my head, I could probably pick out about 10 crosses still.
I was going to say, Henderson's actually a good cross to the ball, but what it is, people are kind of like using that whole narrative of when that ball gets played to him and he hits it first time and it goes wrong. But again, like we can't just use that and say that's all he's going to do all game. That's not what he will do. If he's going to play a right wing back here, I think he would be the most disciplined out of all the players that we have to do it. And I think he probably does the best job. However, I just don't know whether it will be good enough for us and whether we would be happy with it. It's one of them trial and error things for me. Because like I said before, he's got the energy to do it. But I've seen signs this season, he's a bit on the wane. And like, there were times when he's been caught out of position, he's trying to run back and he's really trying, but you can tell the legs are starting to go. But that could be just mental fatigue. That could be just fatigue as well, because as I said before, he covers a lot of ground in the game. When you think about people covering our midfield, you would arguably say it's always Fabinho and Henderson that do the most covering because they always, more times than not, especially Henderson gets drawn out to Trent's side and he's covering a lot on that side. So Henderson does a lot. I just wonder though whether that job we'd ask him to do now, is this the same Henderson that we had like a couple of years ago where it was just that bit fresher? But I do agree with you lot though that he could do it. It's just I don't know that at the level he could do it as. Like, are we going to look at it and go, oh nah man, maybe he was on the way and that wasn't maybe the brightest idea, or we're going to look at it and go, do you know what? That's actually a really good idea because he's the most disciplined and he has got a good cross in him. Whatever people want to believe, like he's got a good cross in him. So I don't know if you don't agree with that.
Just to be clear for anyone who's just joined, I'm only saying Hendo potentially plays a right wing back if Trent is unavailable, not as a replacement. Just want to clear that up for anyone who just joined the chat now.
We know that.
Before they're like, "Rock, Cal trying to get Trent out of the team to push Hendo right back." I just want to make that clear. It's only if Trent is unavailable. So Drift, I'm going to come to you now. Let's say Trent is unavailable for that City game. Us changing formation is unlikely. I did want to just throw that out to you guys to just get your thoughts on it. But it's unlikely. We know Klopp's quite regimented in the formation he likes to play. Who would you play against City if Trent is unavailable to start right back, if everyone else is fit?
Joey G. 100%.
Why?
I think he's got the pace to be able to cope with their wide players. I think because he is defensively a bit more switched on than a lot of other players, because he is actually a defender, it could maybe help to make sure we don't get overloaded the same way Milner did, because Milner, we were getting overloaded down their left, our right, because Milner, through no fault of his own, just couldn't handle Foden, and there were times when he was getting double teamed as well.
Yeah, that was hard to watch still.
Yeah,
it was, bro. When he was getting double teamed, it was actually getting on my nerves. Nobody went over and stopped him getting rushed.
Pause.
I don't even know where the pause is in that.
Think about it, man. Think about it.
But yeah, I would play Joey G there. And on top of that, he's had 2 performances at right back this season and played well. It was against lesser opposition, but I think he still proved that he's more than capable of playing there.
Do you agree, Matt, or would you go someone else?
I would go Gomez as well. I've seen in the chat people say Tsimikas, but I think people. Here's the thing: Tsimikas has a decent right foot, but he's still heavy. He's still, if you think about it, he's still predominantly left footed, just that he's okay with right. But asking a left back to play at right back, it for me is a tall ask, because not only that, you ask him to do it in a City game where like you have to play that perfectly. Whereas Joe Gomez has played that position many times before. And I think, like you said, he would be more defensively switched on than the others. We obviously won't get the same from an attacking point of view, but he'll just be adequate enough. And it's one of those things where we would be slightly a little bit lopsided, because you could see more attacks going down that left-hand side. But we should also feel like, if we're ever being countered or whatever, we should feel like, you know, how sometimes we might say, Trent's recovery pace might not be there. Well, Gomez has that. Even though there were signs yesterday, there were times he had to warm into the game, but that's to be expected if he's not playing. Plus, it could be another bonus for him just getting into the team again and give him that confidence to be like, bruv, you still got Liverpool future. Like, because I think if you're Joe Gomez, you're thinking, bruv, I've hardly ever played. You've seen Konate come in and do very, very well. And Gomez has had such limited game time to the point where every single headline we read about Joe Gomez now is he going to stay? Is someone going to buy him? And it's a kind of worrying factor. So I do think it's a case of maybe give him a chance to prove himself. If I'm not mistaken, when Gomez faced Man City, it might have been the 18-19 season. Wasn't that the bust up with Sterling, or was that 19-20? I mean, he actually played right back.
That was 19-20 at Anfield. But
did he play right back that game? Can you remember?
No, so Trent played right back, but Gomez came on towards the end of the game to just shore it up. Yeah, and then that's when Sterling acted with his foolishness.
Fair play. So, yeah, I think Gomez is the guy, personally.
Fair enough. Well, before we move off this topic, is Trent going to make it back for that game, in your opinion, guys? Yes or no?
Yes.
Drift?
I hope so. I do hope so.
Cool.
I mean, just before we move on, there's one thing I want to make sure we do before that Man City game. I want Hendo and a couple of the boys. Who's their captain? De Bruyne, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
it's time for the mental warfare. I want them man to go Manchester, catch De Bruyne slipping. Time for the mental warfare, boys.
That's not mental warfare. That's violence, bro.
Oh, that is straight violence. That's straight FA. That's straight bad.
Oh my god.
That's so violent. Now my brother just sitting down, you know. My man's up in his face, bro.
Catch De Bruyne having a latte, bro. It's time.
Oh my gosh. Oh man.
Oh man.
One thing I will, I'll speak about nearer to the time, but Man City restricting the amount of fans we can have at that game. Also, there's something to do with the train lines on that day as well. There's something very dodgy going on with that game, but we'll hold fire.
That is that's what you call it. That's ridiculous that they've done that. I think it's only
game,
two.
They're planning something.
I think it's 2,100 fans, I think, were allowed, or something like that. Like, I think it was over a third of the fans, or half the fans were usually allowed, has been cut because of safety issues, apparently. Like, they believe it might get a bit too hectic.
They're being really stupid, because they could do with the extra fans being at the stadium. It's not like they fill it up them bloody selves, you know what I mean? So more on them.
No, but if I'm being honest with you, I want to know how it's possible they can actually just do that. Like, how can they just make up stuff and just be like, yeah, let's just not give them any fans in the stadium to try and gain as much advantage as they can, because we know that 4,000 Liverpool fans will outsing a whole 50 odd City fan. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, that is dirty, underhanded tactics, man. Like, there's people who want to go to the game and they're just not allowed now because you want to make up rules about safety. What are you talking about? When have Liverpool fans ever gone there and made any trouble? It's never even happened before. What safety issues are you? Well, what are you talking about?
We know how this goes, Drifty. We know how it goes.
That is mad.
They said it perfectly. A brown envelope goes a long way.
It does, bro.
Matt's hairline says, "Cal, what happened, bro? Your trim gone a bit widgety." I've not put it in a bun today still, and I'm probably gonna get plait later. So hopefully it'll look a bit more fresh for the next couple of days. Matt's hairline says, "Happy birthday, by the way, Cal." I don't know about the baby talk. Only my missus calls me that still. I appreciate the love, but happily married still, as you can see. Like,
man said, baby.
My missus called me baby, and I'm not in prison, bro. So, LFC Aaron says Matt Drifty was trying to sell Naby earlier.
What is going on with this Naby talk?
Whoa, Aaron,
Drift didn't do that though. Drift didn't do that.
What
I did not. Aaron's trying to get me. He's trying to get me moved to
when
now.
we're done, I'm watching these tapes.
Yeah, Drift didn't say that.
Straight download thing, straight away.
P. Al says, "Is Matt here? I will ask ask the question. Who do you prefer? Naby turns into the Naby we expected, or we get sent Max?"
Naby turns into the Naby we expected. Only big reason because we got Diaz now, so it's not like we don't have someone who isn't that type of stylistic player who can, you know what I mean? I think we got Diaz, so I'd rather Naby turn into the Naby that he should be.
Yeah,
so
I agree with that. Bear says Klopp is doing a Fergie on Naby and Trent. Potentially.
Same Max, by the way, Pete. All day, every day, bird gang.
Troy M says Matt with the meme intro. Each time one of you enter the stream late, you should drop a random meme clip out of nowhere as an intro. Like when you heard the glass break in WWE, you knew Stone Cold was on the way. I'm down for that still.
Yeah. That's cool. That's calm.
Matt says smash the like button, people. Indeed, please do. Thank you, Maths. And Maths also goes on to say Matip/Ibu seen as injury prone, but they have been fit. Thank God. Indeed, they have. Shout out to the medical team, because we all criticize the medical team. They kind of done their thing so far this season. Touch wood.
Yeah, and you know what? I think the real reason they need praise is for how quick they got Harvey back on the pitch. That was actually really impressive.
Yeah,
definitely.
All right, guys, let's move on to topic number 3. International break comes around and journalists get busy. Who can we link this player with? Who can we link that player with? Did you say pause? There we go. There we go. Yeah. I feel that one. Yeah, that pause was spectacular, Drift, still. So we've been linked to 4 players today alone. I'm going to go through each one of them and get your thoughts. So the first player I'm going to start with is Cody Gakpo. I'm not going to sit here and say I've seen a lot of him. I've seen very little.
The PSV winger is 22, 24 years of age, I think.
Yeah, I believe so.
I know a little bit about him. All right, so
I don't know much about him.
He's kind of like, all right, do you know what it reminds me of? All right, this is how I can explain it to you, man. He's almost like Alexander Isak, but plays on the left wing, but can play as a striker.
I thought he was going to say Alexander the Great. I don't know.
No.
It's a bit like Alexander. Dragging out the Alexander. Who's coming?
No, Isak. But no, do you know what? He's a talent. He's fast, good dribbling, technically gifted. You can tell he's still got that kind of next phase, so to speak, to kind of improve. But
yeah,
he's someone that if we was to buy him, he's not pushing first team. He's still got developing to do, but I think he could maybe kind of ease his way in. So he's not on Diaz's level, if that makes sense. He's not on Diaz's level, but he is talented though. He is talented, and he's kind of different to Diaz as well. He is different.
Would you get him? Would you go for him, Matt?
The thing is, I don't think we need another left winger. I'm quite surprised that we linked him.
Really quickly there. So I agree with you. If we brought him in, that would worry me about Mane.
Yes, yeah. And here's the thing. This is one thing I will say. His level is not at Mane's level. So unless this guy was to dramatically, raise his level within the 12 months. All right. Worst case scenario, he doesn't sign this summer. It'll be next summer where Mane, if Mane doesn't sign, so to speak, if he makes that next step, it makes sense. But as things stand right now, no. I think there's other positions that we can focus on. Because if he was a striker, maybe, but he's not. He's more of a left winger that can play striker. So
fair dues. Drift, are you like me? Have you not seen much of him?
Yeah, I don't. I think I've seen him play once, as in like an actual game. So I'm not going to give an opinion on him because that would be unfair.
Yeah, I'm going to refrain from doing the same. I've not seen him loads. I've seen him more than once, but I've not seen him loads. But from what I have seen, I don't think he's an upgrade on Mane.
No,
I think he'll get to that level. The next name, Gravenberch, been linked with Bayern Munich, but a talk is we're heavily linked.
Yeah,
25 mil is apparently the price.
I like Gravenberch. I've been talking about but here's the thing. I see him going Bayern. Bayern have made the bid, it looks like.
I saw him playing the other day, actually. He made a little driving run, cut inside and had a shot. It went over, but I remember thinking, what would that look like in our team?
Bro, he's a good player, but I just think he's off.
You know what? I didn't actually realize Gravenberch was tall.
Yeah, he's like almost 6'3", bro.
Yeah, I didn't realize. I just thought you just passing, you just watch a man in passing and you don't really. I was watching the other day and I was like, bro, he'd probably be the tallest in our team. Like, he's big. I couldn't believe how tall he was.
Virgil and Ibu in them, man, has still got.
No, bro, he looked like he was Ibu tall, bro. He's not.
Bro. What it is, because he's slimmer, so it probably makes him look a bit taller.
Yeah, maybe that is what it is because he was slim. But he looked tall though. I was quite surprised. I was like, bro, I didn't realize he was so tall.
I'm gonna ruffle some feathers here.
Yeah, go on.
I actually think Gravenberch is a better player than Jude. I'm not saying he'll have a better career and Jude won't surpass him, but I actually think as things stand right now, I think Gravenberch is a better player.
I agree that though. I agree with that.
And there's
you wanted Gravenberch for ages, mate.
I think Gravenberch is, but the thing is,
very good.
I think his contract runs out in a year.
23.
I think, bro, we could get him right. All right, I see Gravenberch as Gini Wijnaldum's replacement. That's the player that, in my opinion, if you wanna go and get someone who can kind of do the same but a bit more athletic, bro.
So would you go for Gravenberch over Basuma?
That's a tough one. That's a
Gravenberch has got years on Basuma, See, Gravenberch's ceiling is high. Like his ceiling is
not
high.
by many though. Basuma's only 25.
I think
that's a 6-year difference, bro.
Gravenberch is like 20.
He's 19.
22?
He's 19.
Oh, I thought Gravenberch was 21. Is he 19? Is he still a teenager?
I saw Gravenberch is 22. No,
I thought he was early 20s.
I thought it's 22.
Gravenberch is 19 years old. He'll be 20 in
19.
May.
Bro, I didn't realize he was that young.
My question. I'm gonna be real. I'm going Gravenberch, fam.
I didn't realize he was so young. Okay.
19
so there's a massive.
There's a massive
like a
big grown ass man.
It kind of freaks me out when players like Gravenberch and Bellingham have a maturity about them at such a young age. It does freak me out a bit. I can't lie, because you've got no right to be that grown at that young age.
Because they're gonna be stars. Normally that them players there at that age, like they have this maturity about them already. It's kind of mad. You can kind of see, like, in 4 years' time, whatever, he'll be talked about as one of the best, in my opinion, one of the best midfield. If his career goes the way how I think it's going to go, we'll be talking about my man as one of the best midfielders in Europe.
He's got to make sure he goes to the right team, though. I've noticed with a lot of players like this, even Jude comes into this. Yes. Like, you do have to make sure you go to the right team.
Bayern's a good move for him, I'm not going to lie.
Because they need a kind of a shake up in their midfield a little bit, in it. The engine's getting a little bit,
That's what Bayern Munich did when they went and stole what's his name, innit? Do you remember when he was
what the
Muscle Man?
Yes.
Why can't I remember? Why the hell?
He looked like he's on PEDs.
Why the hell was his name? Goretzka. Yeah. It was
Muscle Man.
It was the crossroad for Goretzka, innit? And Bayern Munich ended up being the perfect team for him, because I remember that time he could have went to the, remember like Dahoud, for example, like he was, and he just made the
His
wrong
career
move.
kind of went a bit.
Goretzka was Liverpool or Bayern Munich. It was literally down to us two. We weren't in the position to offer him what Bayern. Like if it was
think he wanted to leave Germany either, Cal.
No, bro, he really liked the idea of Liverpool, but Bayern just he really liked the idea.
I did hear something about he said if Liverpool would he's like strong interest from Liverpool, but
why didn't we get that done then?
Because at the time Bayern were ahead of us. This was around the same time we were trying to get Naby. And we weren't a team yet. We were a top 4 team, but we weren't Bayern level yet.
It would have been Klopp's first full season, innit? So yeah, we were at the infancy stage of like.
You know we gotta get Gravenberch. He's probably 19.
He's young.
That's
what I'm saying. I do think he's better than Jude right now,
bro. I think we should listen. 30 million euros, I think you can get him for 25 million euros.
Yeah, I'm hearing 25 million euros, including add-ons. I'm hearing.
And what are we doing?
It's not just us, though, Matt. There's competition for him.
Yeah, buy him. But I think we can listen. Man just got to say to him, listen, you're going to be the guy, bro.
Yeah, I agree.
Could you imagine the tactical flexibility with a flipping midfield of like a Gravenberch, a Fabinho and a Thiago?
Do you not think with that league being a lot easier, there could be like room for him to not possibly be as good as we think he is?
I think
I'm not saying he's not a good player, but we always talk about is the tax from the league a little misleading.
I don't think it is.
But he wouldn't have to come in and be the main man straight away, though.
The same way,
I think would help.
The same way,
Naby and Oxgold possibly, Cal.
All right, Jim, this is the easy way for me to put it. The same way how you feel about Anthony, is the same way I think Gravenberch can do the thing. You can see their man are too good for their league.
I hear that. I mean, Anthony does it on the international level, which is what kind of helps me to be a bit more optimistic. Do you get what I mean? Look, Gravenberch he's a great player. Like I'm not saying, but like we've said, the Bundesliga tax, the Euro division, maybe French league. Like you know what I mean? Do we maybe have to think that he looks that great because he's in the league?
I've seen.
But if he becomes Prem, could he continue to play that well?
Yeah,
it's a good argument because Ajax are so dominant. It's a good argument. I can't lie.
There'll always be that kind of worry. But I've seen him a little bit international, not loads, but I've seen him play even international. And it's one of them things where when he plays, bro, it's not like I look at him and go, right, this is a step too high, bro. He just remember, even in the Euros, I think he had a couple of good games when he came on, I think.
He did.
Fair enough.
It'll be a serious acquisition, bro.
Another midfielder we've been linked with, Tchouaméni from Monaco, been linked with him quite heavily. Can play 6, can play 8, can play in the pivot.
I saw him play yesterday against PSG, and
42 million's the asking price. How did he play, Matt?
I was on Tchouaméni watch still, and he actually he played very, very well. Like when I say very well, it's very rare that I see Marco Verratti have a meaty game. Tchouaméni was everywhere, and the thing is, they played a 4-1. What was that, Jeff? I didn't hear you.
I just coughing, so I
thought you were trying to diss my guy Verratti for a minute.
Just had a little to get off my chest. So.
Listen, Verratti walked into our midfield. I'm not going to say nothing, but anyway, 4-1 we played. They played. And imagine this now. So they played the flat 4. Tchouaméni was just behind playing the 6, and bro. He was a sweeper at everything. The thing is, I've never really seen Tchouaméni though play the 8. I've seen him more play the 6 whenever I've seen him play for Monaco. And I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know if anyone can maybe talk more about this, but if he can only play 6, I think we need a bit more than that.
He can play 8 as well.
Can he play the 8? Oh, if he can play the 8, fair enough. But I whenever I've seen him and tried to see what he does, he's always played the 6. But he plays the 6 extremely well. But I'm gonna be real.
Does he play the 6? Does he play the 8 like a 6 though, Cal, or does he play the 8 like an 8?
Yeah.
Again, not seen him enough as an 8 to say he's been brilliant there, or he can sustain a brilliant period of success there. But I think, given his age, given the fact he can play the 6 so well,
Yeah,
and he has played 8, I think Klopp could coach that into him.
do you think Shermany? All right, do you think All right, let me ask you this then: Shermany or Gravenberch? Who would you go for? I know they're different. Yeah, who would you go for, bro?
Oh, it's tough.
What about you, Drift, as well? Who would you go for?
Oh, it's tough. I'll tell you why.
Out of those two, I'd go for Gravenberch.
So here's the thing.
You know.
I do like to have a natural 6 in there along with who can compete with Fabinho. Gravenberch.
Different.
Gravenberch might be a bit more complete right now.
The technical journey is. I love you see the Dutch school of football, fam. Them man, they when they're born, they're automatically given techers. It's actually unfair.
Yeah,
see them, the true. Spanish, the Brazilian. In fact, there's quite a few actually. When I'm thinking about it,
as well.
Yeah, they're just born with it. Like you can see, Shermany, as great as he is, he's not on the same technical level as Gravenberch. But that's not saying he's a less of a player. I'm just saying, see how we want our midfield to be a bit more technically gifted, so to speak, but add power as well. Gravenberch adds power and technical ability. I would say Shermany adds a bit more power. I'm not trying to take away from his technical ability, but I'm seeing the comments. Shermany,
can I throw a spanner in the works though?
Yeah, of course.
If we're thinking about a player who can cover for Flacco,
I know who you're gonna say.
Do we not have Hendo who can cover for Flacco? And then is the cover in our team more? We need our 8/6 backup who can also play possession football.
You're going to say
there's a certain somebody who plays in orange who's not as good, but he's still a very good possession footballer, and he enjoys the odd smashing the top corner from 30 yards every now and again.
Who are you talking about?
Neves.
Cal knows who I'm talking about.
No, not. All right, here's the thing.
Matt, I'm gonna be real with you, bro. He don't sound attractive. He doesn't. Not when we're talking about the Gravenberches and all these guys. Right. But I'm telling you, you see Neves, he's a diamond in the rough, you know. If he's in a better team with players around him where he can just conduct and he don't have to be so worried about doing so much running and all of that kind of stuff, Neves, you know, I can't lie to you, bro.
He's a good journey. Here's the thing. What I'm gonna say, I reckon, Neves is a baller. But remember when we used to have these conversations about like our midfield isn't very athletic. Remember, like we would all like we'll be like, we lack athleticism. Like remember, we was always saying like there's no one like really quick enough. Here's the thing: Basuma's quick, Gravenberch is quick, and Shermany is quick. Now, I'm gonna throw another curveball. If you really want to put Hendo in the 6, which I've got no problem with, and you want to go for the 8, do you know who I'm gonna say?
Go on then.
He's 17 years of age and he plays for Barcelona and he hasn't signed a new deal.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, Matthew.
What do you mean?
We spoke about this before you came in, bro.
Gavi, bro.
No, but why can't we get Gavi, though?
Because his daddy's Javi, bro. That's why.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man. Shit, I'm saying.
No.
Are you gonna send your son to boarding school, Matt? No, bro. You're not.
No, but hear me out. Hear what I'm gonna say.
I'd rather you came in and went, look, I still think we should get involved in this Haaland stuff.
I'm not gonna. We've got more chance of getting Haaland than Gavi.
No, but big man thing. No, you man, big man thing. You hear this now, Gavi. Listen, Gavi hasn't signed that new deal. No, big man. He hasn't signed a new deal. I'm not saying he's not going to sign it. Yeah. But if I'm not mistaken, I think he has a release clause of 45 million euros. I think in the summer. I think.
Matt, you've seen Invincible, right?
Yeah.
Have you seen it all the way to the end? Have you seen it all the way to the end? Yeah. Cal, have you seen Invincible yet? Yeah. Have you seen it all the way to the end? Look what he did, and the brother still went. But I'd have you, Dad. He ain't going nowhere, Matt.
Bro,
he's not going anywhere.
No, but here's the thing.
He's not going anywhere.
These men have no faith.
Folded in. Waded.
Through continent.
Listen, I'm not saying.
And he still said, "But I'd have you, Dad."
Now,
He
listen,
ain't going nowhere,
listen,
Matt.
you
He ain't
guys are
going
right.
nowhere,
Listen,
bro.
listen. You guys are obviously right in terms of the possibility is very, very slim. But what I am saying is, if he ever
quick, guys,
was,
quick, the underground scene.
Savage.
there's no one in the chat think that we even have a
Savage.
1% chance of getting Gavi if he doesn't
No.
sign. If he doesn't sign, Alright.
No, man.
I swear
Ain't
down,
happening,
people.
bro.
If we sign Gavi, these men won't be allowed on the show anymore. I swear to you.
But facts, bro. You'll get a full 2-hour show to yourself, bro.
By myself, I
It ain't
swear to you.
happening. It ain't happening, bro.
That'll be you all show.
And that's right. And I'll be talking about Gavi all show.
That'll be you, bro.
You know
it ain't
fact,
happening, bro.
Bro, I'm telling you
There are
from
people
now.
in the comments asking who your supplier is, Matt, bro. Stringer. Is it Stringer
You know my
Bell, bro?
supplier is. Hold on, let me get
Couple
my
man asking,
supplier.
is it Stringer?
My
Is it
supplier is
Marlo?
Nike. No, it's Nike. It's Nike. But we move still. But anyway, all I'll say is this. Yes, Gavi is unrealistic. Yeah, it is. But if we deep it, so is Haaland and so is other players. But only reason I'm even saying this is because Gavi hasn't signed that new deal, and it's well documented. And I say apparently that we are actively trying to pursue him. We're trying to get him.
Let's
and I'm not saying we're going to get him. I'm not saying we are.
I'm not
just
bantering.
saying.
Let's get serious for a minute. What was the last prodigy to come out of their youth academy that didn't leave because Barcelona told him to? Because as far as memory serves me, any academy player who they've wanted to keep, they kept. The only ones that leave are the ones that they go, all right, you can go.
And then
for me, and then they always end up going back anyway.
Thiago.
No, they said he could go though, innit? Like, they did.
No, he had a release clause.
Now he wanted to leave as well.
Well, and plus, who did he go to, bruv? He went to his. Remember, Pep's dad as well, bruv.
All I'm saying is,
there's
I don't want
dads out here, bruv. There's just you know what I mean, just paying child support and just being good fathers. This is what you're supposed to do, bruv. There's bad dads out here. That's not happening with Gavi, bruv.
All I'm saying is, I don't want us to get sucked into the Kool-Aid to the point where we believe as a club we just can't get plays because they're elsewhere. Now, all I'm saying is, Gavi is unrealistic because he's Barcelona born and bred. Yeah. However, I'm literally just talking about his contract situation, and because they haven't sorted it out. Yeah. It's actually a big thing in Spain how he hasn't signed him and Araujo. I think is it Araujo? I can't even pronounce it. The Uruguayan defender as well. Yeah. Them two they're trying to get to sign new deals and they haven't signed. And obviously they're most likely gonna sign. But until they do sign, there's always that slim possibility. That's all I'm saying, guys. And let's be real, just for argument's sake, if we ever sign Gavi, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. He's different. He's different. No. It's not even about that. I just think he's different.
No, you're not. There's no point having that.
He's different. But anyway, we move.
All right. The last name I want to go to, guys. I want to do this quick. Dybala. Potentially on a free in the summer.
How old is he now? 28.
I saw him driving out of the Juventus training ground today, looking smug because he's rejected the last contract that Juve can afford to offer him. Now he's going Spurs, boys. That is a Conte signing if ever there was one.
How old is Dybala? Is he about 28, 29?
28, I believe.
Yeah. All right, let me ask you like this. Could he do false 90? Could he do the false 90?
Tottenham need players and they ain't got no money.
Yeah,
Conte's managed him. Guys, he's going Spurs. I'll be very, very... I think the only thing that might make Conte struggle to get him is that Dybala apparently, one of the sticking points is he doesn't think Juve are going to make Champions League. And at this stage of his career, he said he's not willing to not play Champions League.
Yeah, he's not going
But
Spurs,
we also saw James say that and then go Everton just because Ancelotti was there. So there's still a part of me that believes that he might do something like that. You know, James put that deal in his contract that said he can duck when he wants.
Somewhere like Inter.
I can imagine maybe Dybala doing that, saying like I can duck out in a year or something and just go and maybe spend a year with Conte and kind of be a little bit of the Eriksen replacement, but in a different way. Because remember, they need creativity in that Tottenham team, and Dybala could maybe give them that. So I reckon he'll go Tottenham, to be honest.
I reckon he stays in Italy and he probably goes Inter.
I wouldn't be surprised in Barcelona.
I don't think Barca need him now. They seem to be kind of like getting their act together. And they've got a certain type of player they seem to want. I don't know if Dybala fits that mold.
Newcastle.
Yeah, just for the money. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe if he wants the peas.
They won't be in the Champions League either, though.
Very true. Very true.
Inter, I think it's Inter.
Well, guys, up to you guys in the comments to let us know as well now who you would take from that list. It's the time of the week, guys, where we reveal FPL standings. Let's do this. Right. Marquez has not been top for a little while. Scoop has not been in the top 4 recently. We're going to now see if anything has changed. No, Marcus is still in the lead. Marcus has opened up a little bit of a lead, even though him and Mark had a very good or very similar week, should I say. In third place is Glamour Boys. Poundland FSG is kind of tearing up the table, to be fair. Poundland FSG was down in 10th, 11th a few weeks ago.
He was.
Roughton in 5th place. Coppers Kunal Singh is 6th. Lockdown FC is 7th. Scoop is 8th. I
remember Scoop when he was running his thing, and then boy,
I'm still wondering what Mark's doing in second. All that chest.
AJ is in 9th.
Mark, wow, God.
Free Smoke in 10th. Sell to Buy in 11th. 40-year-old Virgil, still one of the best names about, in 12th. 34 Liam in 13th. AFC Glendale in 14th. And just the Sheriff in 15th. So as things stand, Marcus is still on the way to winning. Can Mark A or any of the other guys? I mean, Glamour Boys isn't far off Mark A either. Neither is Poundland FSG. Can anyone dethrone Marcus, though, who has still got a healthy lead? It will be very, very interesting. Obviously, guys, me, Matt, and Drift are not really going to expose where we are. I'm not going to expose where I am. I'm just happy to be taking part.
We're always in the mud. Every week we do this segment, I just think to myself, we can't even put... Imagine this, yeah?
We're in the coffin trying to do Uma Thurman at the moment, just... That's where we are.
Hey, don't. I wouldn't even... That's quite possibly one of the worst scenarios you could ever put me in.
Bro, we're just in the mud, fam.
Mr. Dare I Say It Drift says Loan Curtis / Fabio Carvalho, sell Naby / Ox and get Neves and Basuma.
Do you know one thing I'll say about the Basuma thing? I think I've said it before, but we just gotta
we gotta wait to see what happens with it.
We don't get Basuma if Naby stays at the club. I cannot imagine Klopp getting 2 players who both go to AFCON in the midfield. We've already got to worry about 2 attacking players that go. Yeah. I can't see him wanting 2 midfielders that go as well.
Yeah, maybe, you know.
So to be honest, I think the Basuma ship actually only sails if Naby leaves the club. So that's a tough one, man.
Really quick answer, guys. Let's not go into it. Who's had a better career, Bale or Neymar?
Neymar.
Neymar.
Cool.
What about you, Cal? You ever take your answer?
I don't know. I'd have to go through the catalogue and have a look properly before I answer. I don't think it's Cal's
out today. Yeah.
Wow.
No. I've not been given an answer to you,
Politician
man.
Cal.
You can't rush me when I haven't given an answer, guys. It's not fair.
Early hours of the morning. Cal hears the birds chirping.
I'm just saying I'd want a little bit more time to research it. I don't think it's as close as people. So I don't think it's as far lopsided either way as people may suggest. Like you lot giggled at Bell a little bit there still.
No, because Bale done 3 Champions Leagues in a row, bro. Bale done bits, but
but let's be real. It wasn't like it was him. Who
I was gonna say he was like. I was gonna say
very integral
for one of them.
For the first, obviously he scored the bicycle kick against us, but that was Carrier's tax.
His form was very inconsistent.
The first season he was brilliant in that Champions League, but the second and the third one, I don't necessarily know if I'll say he had that much to do with those.
Yeah, it's a weird one for me.
Fair dude. I would have to do a bit more research before I give my answer. Matt's
Plus, internationally, Neymar smokes him. I know he plays for a better club, but he smokes him internationally. So
again, I wouldn't say he smokes him because expectation-wise and where Wales are in standing in comparison to Brazil, Bale's, now hear me out. Bale's carried Wales. He's carried them.
but carried them to nothing.
I mean,
Neymar carried them to the Olympics. You know what I mean?
Really doing the Olympics?
But it's still a prestigious international tournament.
Let's not talk about internationals because I think what Neymar does for Brazil is very underrated, bro. Very underrated.
Very underrated.
That man, they got slapped up when he had a broken bone in his back. You know?
He's actually isn't he almost the top goal scorer of all time for Brazil?
Oh, he's high up
and we're talking about Romario, Big Ron, all these legends, and Neymar's nearly top goal scorer for Brazil. So I rate Bale. Don't get me wrong, you don't know I rate Bale.
Yeah,
but
Bale in his heyday is sick. Don't get it twisted. But I think Neymar's done more, innit?
Bale's career is too short in terms of the level that he was at the peak to compare to Neymar. I think Neymar's been at the peak for longer.
Like, man are sleeping on MSN and acting like Neymar won absolutely formidable. That's what I'm gonna say.
Fair dues. Matt's hairline says, Matt, what happened to the Insta deal we had?
It's under review. We move.
Neil H says, Shuameni lads. Yeah, a lot of people are very high on Shuameni in the comments. Troy M says the question is, who does Drifty want for midfield? Because that's who we'll get. He's got some kind of power. Drift is getting spooky with the manifesting. Don't forget, he saw Forest win 2 days before their game. Who we getting, Drift?
Never.
Right. There's no point us even having these contract and transfer talks, bro, because you already know
if we get Neves, I'm not gonna lie.
And you're Illuminati, bro. I'm saying.
But you know what? The Gravenberch manifestation might start. I'm not gonna front.
We need to manifest that. I'm not gonna lie. I'd rather him over. I'm not saying I don't want Neves. I don't think Neves is bad. I just prefer Gravenberch, bro. Gravenberch.
No, I hear you. I hear you. Yeah. There is a part of me though that just looks at the way Neves play, and I think, oh, if he had the Liverpool players around him.
But it's the athleticism where he gets found.
Yeah, but bro, he's the conductor, bro. How much more moving does the conductor? He just does this, bro. No,
we're not step,
no foot stomping, no nothing, bro. He just does this, bro. And occasionally he might give you one of those.
And then he turns and bows. Then he
All right, let me ask you.
That's it, bro. That's all the movement the conductor needs, bro.
But let me ask you like this, all jokes aside. Could you imagine a midfielder, Fabinho, Thiago, and Neves? Yes, technical ability and keeping the ball. Yes,
no, that wouldn't work. That wouldn't work. It would have to be Neves or Thiago. Yeah. That wouldn't work. Yeah. It would have to be Naby. It would have to be Fabinho, Neves, and Naby.
Yes,
that's what it would have to be because
you got to find the perfect combination.
Yeah. You would need a little bit of something different in there. Yeah, you would.
BC says, you've seen the list Grizz put on Twitter of 3 players this summer. I'd take the Barla if we get 35 mil for Ox from, say, Newcastle. Would you take it? Would you want more? We ain't getting 35 mil for Ox.
BC, we will be lucky if we got 15, 20 for Ox. Never mind.
20.
Because he's English, it's kind of no disrespect, but it kind of bumps up his price a bit, I believe. Because if he was like Spanish or something, I don't think he gets the same value.
Clay says Carvalho, Shuameni, Rafinha, Max Aarons for the summer. If that was our summer, that'd be.
I would not complain with that one.
I'd be over the moon with that summer.
I wouldn't complain. We couldn't complain. We actually.
I'm looking at the Max Aarons one, and I'm just thinking. I'm trying not to be recency biased because this season he really hasn't played well. But they are having a shocking season, so I'm trying not to blame him for it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd probably swap Spence for Max Aarons, and I'm not gonna say the other thing I was gonna say.
Carl, you know your brother's going to flipping, I think Barca. You know, Mazraoui.
Oh yeah, I know. That's what I told you. I was gonna stop speaking about players.
Yeah, I remember you said it from like last year, 18 months ago. You're like Mazraoui. And I see them link. I was like, I think Fabrizio was like, yeah, it's close to going Barcelona. I was just like,
yeah, I told you, bro. I just wake up in the mornings, hit Twitter, and I'm like, okay, another one.
You got to start speaking on players.
I'm the opposite of Drifty, bro. I manage people away from the club.
Well, get manifesting on a couple goalkeepers. Matt, you know, your boy from Leon. What's his name again?
Shirky.
That's
Is it
Carl.
Shir-
Yeah, Carl's the one that's been
My
on
guy's good.
Shirky.
No,
That's
no,
Carl.
No. Your guy is the one who just got the ACL, isn't it?
No,
You're
that's
talking
Matt
about
guy.
Florian
Rick.
Wirtz. That's my brother from
Oh, versus your guy.
Yeah.
So hold on, in the group, you lot said that was Cal's guy.
No, I
No,
like
that
him as
was
well. I
me.
rate him as well. But he's
I
more
said it
Matt's
was
guy.
me.
No, I said, Cal, look what happened to your guy. And then
And
so
then
I
I
said,
actually
Matt,
said-
look what happened to your guy. And then you went, no, that's Cal's guy.
No,
remember?
you
No, he
read
said
it
that's
wrong.
me.
I said that was me.
But I rate him as well.
So Cal's guy is the
Shirky, yeah.
Carl
Shirky from
told
Leon,
me
yeah?
about Shirky.
Okay.
Why, what's
Okay,
happening
well
with
then
that?
I'm good. I'll
Yeah.
try and manifest that one because I'm not
You
gonna
need to-
lie, he looked naughty still.
Do you know, as you said that, I'm actually
Detach
so...
yourself from him, Cal. I take
I'm
all
so
the
upset
power
with
of
Wirtz,
the
you
Shirky.
You might not understand how good Florian Wirtz is, you know.
Nah,
like
Florian
he is, and he's...
Hold on.
bro.
Did someone just say Shirky's
What?
out for the season as well?
No.
No, the cow dick
Oh,
is
no,
no, that's
Lying.
mad.
No, they're lying. I'm gonna check now. They're lying. That can't be right.
No.
I know Florian Wirtz is out, and that hurts me.
Cal, I'm gonna need you to do me a favor, Cal. I love you, bro, but can you detach yourself from me as well? What the hell's going on? Hold on.
I'm moving like I've got judging me, bro.
What is going on?
Yeah, I'm done. He's out for the season with what?
Is he actually?
Bro.
Oh no! There goes Ryan Shirky. Hold on. Leon have announced this afternoon that attacking fielder will miss the next. Oh no, next 3. Well, perhaps he is. Next 3 months of action with a foot injury sustained in a defeat to Monaco over the weekend.
Metatarsal couple.
The 18-year-old suffered a fractured metatarsal, which in effect keeps him out for the rest of the campaign.
Fucking no.
Yeah, Kyle, you just need to
Not even like a thigh strain or something, you know, like broken bones and torn cartilage and.
I'm actually done, man. I'm done.
That is mad. But do you know what? Yeah, all jokes aside, do you see what always worries me about this type of stuff? It's because these guys are young while their body's still developing and the demands are put on them so much that they overdo it. If you look at Neto, I would not be shocked if Neto's injury was actually a fatigue or like a repetitive like strain type situation where Wolves are just running him into the ground at 19, 20 years old and you're still growing at that age. Shirky, all these guys, you're still growing at that age. It's very dangerous to run a player into the ground when they're that young, you know.
The thing is, when you've got like a broken bone or something like that, that's more impact. That's more impact injury. But you're right in terms of like, you know, hamstrings and things like that. That is more fatigue. But you see, like the Shirky thing, that does seem like more.
Yeah, you're right, possibly. Yeah, but then again, you could weaken the bone by putting a lot of pressure on it, though. Matt. You know, you get a lot of stress fractures and stuff from like excessive, like. You know what I mean? Play or whatever. Yeah. So
coming to me in the chat, I'm not gonna lie. very funny comments in the chat. Well, big up yourself, Jambo.
And he broke up his foot already, you know.
Clark Savage. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I don't even know what's going on.
You know, it was also fantastic, Cal. Foden. Talk about Foden.
Oh man, I'm in the mud. Froggy says Chelsea youth players look like men. Ours are kids. Now they do. I don't know what they're feeding him over at Cobham still. Math says, would you guys be vexed if I said I expected more from Thiago and agree with Turkish? If this is you on a burner account, we're gonna have words off air, bro. He's usually a 7 out of a 10. If he was an 8.5 overall, the team would play better. Maths, I disagree, bro. The maths ain't mathing. The maths ain't mathing right now, bro. Watch him back. I've
turned the calculator upside down, brother, and it just spells boobies, bro.
Ash says, if we're rumored to be in for Schumann and Gravenberch, then we should be really all over Barella. He's made for us energy and quality.
He's quality, Barella, though. He's quality. I like Barella.
Big up Shams as well. He said that when we had him on.
They're broke as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aiden says, Bournemouth getting promoted. Who we got? Aye, we could be all right this summer. Still, on a real, we could be all right, bro.
It's true.
Well, let's keep it a buck. In the end, they actually like aren't even angry with us about the Solanke stuff. Like I know we laughed and we joked a little bit, but he's actually playing well for them. So
Is he? Yeah, I don't even know what he's doing.
I think the only one we shirked them on was Ibe.
We might be in Brad Smith as well. We might be in business, bro. We've shirked them a few times.
6 mil for Brad Smith. I'll never understand that transfer in my whole life, bro.
Yeah.
I actually thought Brad Smith weren't too bad.
He didn't look too bad. Weren't 6 mil though.
Yeah, but once he really weren't, bro.
Well, I'll tell you who we really shirked at the moment, Matt.
Who?
Wolves. It's kind of looking like we shirked them, bro. I can't even lie. 10 mil, bro. It's kind of looking like we shirked them.
Listen,
I can't even front. You go look at Williams.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
And then you got bro. We got to keep it a buck, bro.
Are they playing in the same league?
Yeah, he's playing in a lesser league, and I mean, so in a more competitive league. No, the championship is actually more rough and tumble, bro. It's actually more rough and tumble.
Nico, listen, what Nico's doing is very good. I'm not denying what he's not doing is good. But don't do this because here's the thing. I'm not gonna lie, Hover's gone off the boil, like dramatically has. But I genuinely still believe Hover has the talent. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I mean, of course he's got talent. He's a billionaire. He's married to Beyonce.
He might have even gone to the wrong club. He might have even gone to the wrong club as well.
We're talking about the brother that went Wolves. Wrong Hover, bro.
Bro, what I'm saying is Nico doing things that where's Nico again? Is it Fulham? Is it Fulham?
Yeah.
But look, I'm just saying.
Man, dancing.
And by the way, you lot all know what will happen if Bournemouth make it up. The guy who's already there is the guy we're gonna get the money for.
I did read that actually, Mark. I did read about that still, about his manager did call him out about the mentality, about how when he was off injured, he didn't prepare himself or something like that. That says to me a player that, I don't know, I'm not making excuses, but maybe just not happy. Hove, I think his manager laid into him a bit about his comeback in terms of like mentality wise, like that's not how you come back from an injury or something like that. And I was like, right, he's laying into me in public. That says to me that's a guy that's not happy though. I can't even front. Ain't that right, dude? When you talk about Origi when he wasn't happy when he goes on loan. You're the only one's there, innit? You're the only one's there when Origi didn't want to go to France and he was forced to play there.
He gets away mad.
What do you mean? I'm just stating facts, something that Drift said. Drift can't deny that. He ain't gonna deny that, are you, Drift? Drift ain't gonna deny that though. And he knows what I'm talking about.
You could also put it on the flip side. You could also say, well, they only wanted Origi to go on loan, whereas with Hover, they actually made sure he didn't come back. So
no, that's true. No, but that's true. But we needed the funds.
We were both in a strip club. I didn't do anything.
Well, I'm saying is we needed the funds in it. So Hove was the sacrificial piece. But it's kind of mad though because Nico Williams was the guy that was supposed to be better than Hove, but yet he's been shipped out on loan. But we move.
No, he's been told to go and get some experience, some games in his legs.
So Jurgen Klopp knows if you're that good, he lets you go out on loan so you can improve and lessen us during the season. That makes sense.
No. What you do is you go out and you improve, and then you come back and you get us into a cup final.
Drift, what do we worry about? Next season or the next game?
Well, I mean, if we didn't worry about next season, last season, we wouldn't be Carabao Cup holders right now.
Drift, we worry about the next game. I'm pretty sure
we be Carabao Cup holders right now, Matt. Because what we did is we sent Minamino out on work experience. He came back and won us a Carabao Cup.
Drift, I'm not going to lie to you. Minamino got sent out.
This is what good managers do.
At that point, I mean, be real.
If you're not allowed to come back, that's when the issues are. That's where the real issues are.
All I'm going to say is this. Minamino was sent out on loan because he weren't cutting it. But he was allowed a second chance. Bro, at Southampton, they didn't even want to keep him. So he was
hold on.
And he's done well ever since.
Let's not put false positives out there. Minamino was sent on loan to get game time.
No, but all right, cool.
It was part of his adaptation to the Premier League.
Right.
It was all strategic. Let's not fool the people here. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. That's so Nico's got a future. Want to do.
Is Nico got a future in your opinion? Is Nico got a future as the backup right back in your opinion?
I genuinely believe there's a possibility he does still have a Liverpool future. I 100% do.
Let me rephrase the question. Do you want Nico Williams to be your backup right back for next season going forward?
The way he's going, if we spend money on two other positions, I would gladly have Nico as our backup next season. If I saw a summer window where we signed Anthony and Gravenberch, for example, and then they told us we don't really have the funds and Nico's going to play right back, I would be all right with that.
No. We need to improve, bro.
No, that's fair enough. We can get better than him, of course.
That's my thing. No one listen. I've never sat on here and said he's crap.
I mean, I didn't even have to give
better.
you like an excuse to start the Nico slander, but anyway.
No, there's no slander. I just think we can do better. That's no disrespect to Nico.
Yeah. I mean, technically, we can do better than most.
Exactly. People say we can do better than Origi all the time, but we don't mean that in a disrespectful way. We just genuinely think we can do better.
Oh, yes,
and it's not.
do.
No, but it's not a salty thing. It's just like we can improve on that position. I don't.
So you wouldn't take Nico at right back if it meant we've got Gravenberch and Anthony.
What I'm gonna say is this, Drifty.
I mean, it's a yes or no.
This season, how I said the one position where we don't need to get that injury is at right back, and we're throwing in a centre back at right back. Yeah, we shouldn't really need to do that because
Nico is a right back.
No, we don't have a right back on a Tsimikas level. Hence why Klopp didn't mind letting him go. If he does well over at Fulham, that's cool. But this is what I think. I do genuinely feel though, Klopp probably feels like, you know what? I'm going to try and get something a bit better than Nico Williams. No disrespect to my man. And if we can do that next season, I think he will try and do that, bro. And there's a reason why we've had the conversations with Max Irons and all them things there. Come on, man. We can't just sit here and say the guy's amazing because he's had good games at Fulham.
We loaned him out.
You know what I mean?
To see if he could fulfill his potential, because it comes a point in your career where you got to play every week. I'm not making excuses for the kid. That's just a fact. It's the reason why I want Jones to go on loan. You lot know how much I love Jones, but you can't keep playing bit part every year in your critical parts of your development.
No, agreed.
You can't do that. That's why I think Jones should go on loan as well. I truly believe that Nico is good enough. I do. I'm not saying he's spectacular, but he's good enough to be backup. I do believe that, and I think this season might have done him the world of good. I really do.
Fair enough. I just think personally we could get a Max Irons or someone of a Tsimikas level where the drop off isn't as dramatic as when he plays, and that's no disrespect, but that's because we've got a all-worldly right back, so it's kind of hard to replicate that. But you see how we've seen a Tsimikas like not play loads and loads of games, but still play at a high level. I don't know if you can get the same from Nico, like you said, because maybe Nico is a guy that has to play week.
25, bro, though, isn't it? So he's obviously well developed, isn't it?
All I'm saying is this: I'm not disrespecting Nico Williams when I say this. I just think we can do better than him, and if we, and that's just what I think in it.
No, fair enough.
You know,
Matt's hairline says we win the quad. Potential Matt's hairline face reveal. I'm down for that.
That goes to VAR. Still, we move.
Yeah. L Lad says we've been linked with Spence from Forest. I'll take him. Guy. So would I. And finally, Aisha says, Cal, it's my birthday. Could you drop the beat? We can indeed, Aisha. We can indeed. Have a fantastic birthday. Hope you're having a great day.
Happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday.
All right, big up Claire 86. You know what it is, Claire. It's getting a bit.
No, Matt's hairline was saying he will do a face reveal.
I was going to say, you lot have interpreted what he was saying wrong. He said if we win a quadruple, he will do a face reveal.
I don't think he said that, though.
No, he did.
He did. He read what he said, bro.
He did.
He said, if we win the quad, I will do a potential face reveal. That's what he said.
Ash says, hold on. First, all right, I'm going to read out the super chat first, and I'm going to ask you guys a question still. Going to determine how the show ends. Ash says, shout out to Paddy the Baddie for Justice for the 97.
Yeah.
AM says, I'm not going to read that out. I can't read that out, AM, man. Come on, AM. Come on, AM, man.
Come on, man. Let's stick to football, man. Come on.
Did you guys see Paddy's interview after UFC London? You guys watched it?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah, I've seen every fight apart from the main.
Are you talking about the interview where he's talking about the charity and that? And was it? Yeah, speaking about no. Maybe I'm thinking of another interview that he done. Maybe not straight after his. It's
Yeah,
fine.
I
Just,
saw,
what
Cal, I've seen his in-ring interview. Yes, I have.
what did he say, Cal?
Have you guys watched UFC London? That's what I'm really asking you. Have you guys watched?
Yeah, I just told you every fight apart from the
No, I
main
ain't watched
event.
every fight. Maybe.
Okay. okay.
What? No, but what I did find
I
quite
haven't seen every fight,
interesting.
though.
What I did find quite interesting is that Paddy puts like his bias to one side and still puts his arm around Molly.
Babe, I'm gonna delete Matt's number. Bun him.
Listen,
you forgot to mute it, bro. You went
Oh,
off camera, but you
my
forgot
bad,
to
my
mute.
bad.
Listen, I didn't listen. I'll say it with chest. I didn't watch UFC. Like I saw Paddy's fight. I saw that one, but I just haven't got down to seeing the rest of them. And I'll be honest. Remember when I said to you, like, you man, especially you, Carl. In fact, no, but both of you. When it comes to certain fighters, I'm not like on it like that. And that's not disrespect because it's in London. It's just that the card,
Matt. Watch the card, bruv.
I will watch it. But it's what it is, though. I didn't have that same excitement of when I watched like the build up for Colby and Masvidal. You know, like man watched every fight. Like, but with this
All
one,
I'm
it was
gonna
like,
say, yeah,
oh, Paddy's fighting, so I'll catch it at some point.
This has been the best UFC card of the year so far.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That good? Oh no, fair play. I'll watch it then.
Yes, 100%. I don't. Do you agree with that, Drift? The best UFC card so far.
Do you know it was the best atmosphere of any card so far? I don't know if I would say fight for fight. I don't know if I'll say fight for fight. It was the best.
Drift,
it was brilliant though. You know, Cal, don't kill me. I didn't watch the prelims, so I don't know if that added.
What?
I don't know if that added to the hype.
You man are moving like Vinicius right now. I'm not even gonna lie. Still, you man are moving like Vinicius, bro.
Man, want another team.
Yeah, you man are. Yeah, you man.
He's against us.
You're actually gonna be telling me, yeah, man's sponsored by Bellator on the side and all this. But cool, you lot do your thing, man. You lot do your thing. Long distance Liverpool said dad jokes incoming. What do you say after 50 Cent 58?
I swear down, bro. Man is getting old because I found that funny.
That is such a dad joke.
Oh, that tickled me still.
Oh my days, bro.
That tickled me still. It's so basic, isn't it?
That's what makes it silly, bro. 58. Bro, what?
Oh man.
Oh my days.
I said Craig whispering in man's ear as he choked him out cold. Molly KO cold. Paddy while Aspinall was solid. That's what I'm saying. Card was mad.
It's kind of mad that the majority of the good British fighters in the UFC are Scousers as well.
No, someone actually took Libya.
It's not a coincidence, really. That man can fight, bro.
Funny Kang says, I heard Matt will be fighting Askren at the next event at Anfield, and Cal is going to be in Askren's corner.
I wouldn't. If I'm in Askren's corner, just know that Matt's winning the fight 100%, bro. I'm gonna drop something in his walk before we go out there, bro.
Well, whatever it is, it can't make him any slower.
It's so harsh. It's so savage, bro.
Am I lying though?
That is dark drifty, man. That came out of nowhere, bro.
Am I lying? Look, there's a reason why I would bet all my money on Matt. Not just because he's my friend, because I believe he'd smoke him. Like, I think Matt is faster than Askren getting out of bed. Never mind in the ring. Jesus.
I'm gonna be real though. I don't really hype myself up.
Boxing? Are we talking about boxing?
Yeah, we're talking about boxing. Come on, man. If it was wrestling, then I'm not gonna send Matt to the wolves.
No, but big man thing, boxing. I don't big up myself like that, yeah. But you see, boxing, Drifters wants to keep building this up until Astrid.
I am gonna Don King this Clark till the wheels fall off.
Listen, I'm gonna be real, man. Like 1-on-1, I reckon, and I'm confident. I reckon I can take Askren still, but just strictly boxing. Just I don't know. Put it just strictly boxing.
I disagree. Guys, none of us are being Askren.
Before I forget, is it not shady that Paddy keeps on saying Scousers don't get knocked out.
It's very risky, yeah. It's very risky.
Yeah.
No. There's a certain
more...
Scouser who got knocked out.
Him and Tiller cool,
no,
bro.
No, but is that not? You know when he keeps going, come on, lad, you know, Scouser don't. It's like it sounds a bit shady to me, bro.
I think he's.
That man are cool.
That sounds silly, but he probably. Yeah. I think he just kind of just. What's the word?
That's just his market.
Like, obviously, Till's been knocked down. Was it knocked out once, innit?
No, but what I'm saying is he got knocked out in London as well, which is the thing that makes
that was
it
horrible.
work.
That was horrible. I can't even lie.
That was a rough one.
Listen, there's a reason why Till had to go and find my man and go and do some training, bro. He had to go into the forest, bro, to find himself. Darren Till, but big him up though, because he's doing a lot of training right now and he's trying to master all crafts. And he kind of said as well, like I think he knew he was lacking.
That shows a lot of humility from him.
Bruv, he's training with Chams. Oh, you see that Ham? How do you pronounce it? Is it Hamza, not Cham?
Yeah.
Bruv, I'm gonna be real. Do you know Starbender? No, I think Starbender said he wouldn't mind fighting him. I think. Are they in the same weight class though?
He does both. He does 170. I'm in 185.
I'm not gonna lie. Izzy's my guy, but Hamza just looks like you don't matter how many times you like. He just looks like he just don't like.
I need to see more of Hamzat first.
No, fair enough.
You know, do you remember? I don't remember if you agreed or disagreed with me, but I remember having a conversation when I told you how impressed I was with Alan. I don't know if you agreed with me or you disagreed with me.
No, I agreed.
But I knew that kid was special, you know. I could tell, bro. I could tell. I could tell there was, you know, when someone's just got like a very, like a scary aura about how normal they seem, but how savage they are in the ring. Those guys are the ones that worry me more than the talkers and all that, you know. It's the guys who are just all calm and shit. And then they just, I'm not even gonna lie. I like Alan. I've known he's a problem for a minute still.
Definitely. Jay Finn says, guys, did you see Man City losing their head cutting LFC fan attendance, say for safety? Yeah, we touched on that earlier. Very shady. John says, Matt, would you fight Amir Khan?
Yeah, if the bag was there. I'd fight Khan.
That's another brother. I'll Don King this up. I reckon that with 6 months training, Matt
Khan is very, very fast. He's very fast.
Is he?
Khan's fast. He's fast.
That's a myth now, man. We're not talking about 30-year-old Khan. We're talking about the one who just fought the other day, bro.
Yeah, but he's fighting against
another professional boxer, bro. It wasn't just some road man off the streets, you know.
I rate Drift because Drift's trying to really do the Paul Heyman thing, and I respect that still.
I'm not gonna lie, Drift. Leave me out of this, bro. I ain't stepping in the ring with no one, bro.
Khan's got very good hand speed.
I ain't stepping in there with Khan, and I ain't stepping in there with Askren. I ain't doing it. Both of them would take me to town.
I never forget what you said off air about Askren. But we moved. You lucky I didn't clip that up, bro. I swear.
Look, all I know is that Matt is my client, and I'm gonna Don King the fuck out of this until after.
Just make sure I see the P's before me dead.
Oh, bro, I'll make sure. Look, we're doing a 40-60 split, no doubt about it, bro. I am going to make sure you get paid.
Hold on a minute, man said 40-60 in his favor. No, bro. Man was like, you can take all the licks, yeah. I'm getting
even if I got 40, that's liberty, bro.
No, but I'm gonna be honest with you. Askren is so easy for you that the hardest part is getting him to take the fight, not getting in there and getting it done. So that's why I've got to take the bigger bag.
Please, I'm begging you both. Don't call out Askren, man.
And Matt smokes Askren.
You don't
in a boxing fight, not in a normal fight, not in a street fight, not in a wrestling match, but in a boxing fight. Unless the rules are you have to fight like a bear, Matt's smoking him, bro.
In a boxing match, none of us are beating Askren.
Are you sure, Carl? Because that's not what you was talking about.
I'm not even gonna lie, the dry snitching is mad still.
That's all I'm gonna say, blood.
As I said, online, clip this up. None of us are being Askren in a boxing match.
Okay. Let me check I'm gonna check my phone after we finish. just to see if it recorded by the off chance.
No comments. Ash says, Cal, does anyone beat Jemiah's? Real talk. I think in 2 years he's a 2-weight champ. I need to see more. I need to see more.
Do you know who else was a really, really big talent? He was in John Jones' division and then he got smoked. You know the guy I'm talking about, guys. Bob? Johnny
No,
Walker.
he was a walking hype train, man.
No. But here's the
He
thing,
was
bro.
battering people, bro.
Bruv, he was destroying people.
Yeah, but Cal,
He
like you
was.
said, nobody's. And then
But
he
this
got
is-
in there with one, like, not even necessarily like ranked
Yeah.
fighter, just like a decent fighter. And he got finished in like a
This
minute.
is why I'm saying I need to see more of Hamzat because we ain't been there with Hamzat.
Nah,
yet.
I reckon Hamzat
Ha-
different.
Hamzat
though.
looks
I
like
can
a
tell
bit
it's
of a
really
different beast, though, in that way.
You
though.
said
the
the same
mentality
about
is different.
Walker, though.
No,
Walker
Johnny
was standing in
Walker-
the middle of the cage and jumping knee and knocking out people.
Yeah, but that is all fun and games until you get punched in the face, though. Hamzat ain't the type of guy that it will change anything if you punch him in the face.
we don't.
You know what I
We
mean?
say this. We don't know.
No, but
We don't know.
Till I think Till kind of verified that though.
In training, in a training setting.
No, but Till ain't one to lie though.
No, he's not. But we still haven't seen him in deep water or anything. We've seen Usman can take a punch. We've seen Usman can handle it when he gets it really stuck on him. We need to see whether Hamzat can do the same before I'm fully on the hype train. I like Hamzat, but can't be on a hype train when I've only seen a couple of fights.
No,
And,
you're right.
Troy M says, Matt, be sure to tag Drift in if Ben is getting the best of you.
Was it Street Fighter tag mode?
You might want this 60-40 split still. You're going to have to split the beating, bro. Alex George says, I'm a DM Mike Tyson that Cal called. No, all jokes aside, guys, don't do stuff like that. Don't.
Someone should say Mike. Someone should DM Mike and show him the Cal's impressions of him.
No,
Mike would appreciate that.
No, Matt is moving mad today.
Matt actually don't want to see me live to see my kids.
Matt is moving mad today.
But Drew, if you haven't thought about it, we could get the bag in an easier way.
But there's a difference between getting the bag safely and getting the bag by casualties, bro. There's two different.
No, but Tyson don't fight no more.
Man's actually doing the whole sacrificial thing, bro.
I'm not doing that.
I'm doing a blood sacrifice. Well, if he dies, he dies. But man like me and you will get the bag still. All right, Tyson will keep it quick though. Tyson will drag it out.
Oh my god, man's doing the take care of his family thing, you know.
No, but Tyson don't even fight no more. He don't even fight no more, so it's calm. It's calm.
It's not calm, Matt. It's even, bro. Oh,
he just invite you down for an interview. That's all.
I heard you've been talking stuff out me, huh, Cal? No, Mike. Come on, speak up, big man. Speak up. You want to go outside? You want to sort this out like men? No, Mike. I don't. So you're just a scared little girl. You're just a scared girl, a small, scared man. Yeah, I am, Mike. That's what I thought. So keep my name out your mouth. Keep my name out your mouth. Your name is not Callum Sense anymore. It's called Callum Tyson because I'm your dad now. Have you curled it up? I make you squeal like a girl. Don't ever mention my name again.
Your impression is elite, though.
Don't ever mention my name again. Do you hear me? Don't ever mention my name again. I'll kick your ass, Callum. Quadruple FC says Nazir. Big says DM Gigs walking apart, fight night, no death champ. I don't want no smoke with Gigs either.
People are gonna get us into some serious trouble here.
Yeah.
You're the Callum brother that keeps on mocking man's voice, yeah. All right. Yeah. So what you thought man wouldn't pull up and that, yeah? Well, you gotta say for yourself now, big man. No. Don't run. Because I got the goons and that. Don't think man won't lay it on you thick, bro. Yeah. Listen here, yeah. Just because man's in the booth and that, don't think man don't get down like that, because man will split your forehead, bro. And I'll look into your brain and then speak you that way, bro. Yeah, understand that. Yeah. Let me tell you something, yeah. Man's about this life. You know I'm about this life, yeah. So you hear the lyrics in the songs, they ain't just lyrics, big man, yeah. So let me tell you this and tell you this for the last time, yeah. Covered in reg like a bag of chips, yeah. Remember that line in it, because that's how man will leave you, bro. Sort of seconds. Remember I told you. Troy M says remember Troy M says remember when Deontay caught that online troll at the boxing gym.
I remember. I remember.
Whatever happened to that guy?
He stopped talking nonsense.
He got whacked up. Bobby got whacked up.
He stopped talking nonsense. Tibbo says, fight Mike or Maguire header to stop our title.
Oh, Cal's got to get in the ring.
Drift, bro. We could win the league next season. You know?
Hey, Cal, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, bro. I'm sorry. I'll tie your glove my damn self.
For me, you know?
Man said it's sacrificial time.
I'll wrap your hands and tie the glove for you, big man. I'll try to slip a margarita in there, bro. See if you can do a Cotto settings. But if you can't, bro, it is what it is, bro.
Mario says, so we've already won 9 in a row. Another 9 will make it 18 plus cup games. We got this. Man, this is tiring. We got this, man.
It is tiring.
It is exhausting. I can't lie. Trying to be the best is exhausting.
Mentally exhausting. I
love it.
But we love it though at the same time.
Yeah.
Well, guys, make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already. Guys, we are also on Spotify, your favorite podcast list as well, with Spotify, Apple podcasts and all that as well. So make sure if you can't watch it live and you can't watch it full stop, but you can listen to it.
I said 1 or 10.
You guys have asked for it. It's on Spotify, Apple, iTunes, and all the rest of them, guys. So make sure you tune in there. I'm not, just to be clear, I'm not doing no fights, none of that. Ain't happening. I ain't doing it. If that's what you and Drift want to do, then you guys do it. I'll do the training with you guys. But that's about it.
Look, let's be real. Everything seems to be lining up. I told you, man, if we do the quadruple, that I would do the Paul Heyman. Yeah. And at that moment, while I look the part, I might as well play the role, right?
If you did a Paul Heyman, bro, I'll be legendary.
So while I'm doing the Paul Heyman, I get the shit popping, and we collect this bag, innit? It is what it is.
Bruv, if you do a Paul Heyman, I'm done.
It is what it is.
Oh my days.
It is
people,
what it is.
Smash the like button. We'll be back either tomorrow or Wednesday, so make sure you check us out. Nothing but love for you all. Thanks for everyone in the chat, everyone who's been in the show. Until we see you, big up, bless up.
So, by the way, guys, remember, after this video finishes, the views review will be out, and big up to the people who sent them in. And just, let's give them a double shout out, actually, Cal, before we go. Let's do it.
Indeed. Big up everyone.
Big up everyone for sending in your views review. And yeah, so we will be back. Stay tuned to the socials, actually, innit?
Yes.
It's probably going to be tomorrow, Wednesday. But stay tuned
Tomorrow, Wednesday. So there you go. Hold on, where's it gone, boy? Has it disappeared?
Oh, that might have been me still by accident.
Oh
no.
Yeah,
now I'm not.
Just it is what it is, I guess. Yeah, I knew I was going to get away with it. Big up, man. If you lot don't see me on Tuesday or Wednesday, you know why now.
And that me I tell you, you're pussy. Me ready for yam up your blood clot.
Bless up, people.